Welcome to Hip Hop Talks, everybody. I'm Coop. It goes on, the stuff that goes on behind the scenes before the show is just absolutely ridiculous. Like,
yo, this dude, man.
I'm sorry.
No,
you want to know what was funny? You want to know what's funny? Just as an innocent bystander, just an onlooker from a distance of your conversation that you were having before the show. Is that the funny thing about how the conversation ended? Is that actually, Shawn, that's something that you would probably do, and that was the funny part to me.
Exactly.
And that makes me worry too that you're having once again a bad influence on AG. But,
no.
Happy holidays.
Thank you, Coop. You said it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, because it's definitely an asshole comment. Because I was sitting over here in the cut getting myself together, and I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Where did that come from?" I'm like, "That is just ruthless." I'm like, it's like 10 days from Black Baby Jesus being born or something, and like this is ridiculous behavior. It's like we're supposed to be like Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Yom Kippur, Wu-Tang Forever. Yeah, like
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm apologize. What I said behind the scenes to Shawn, I'm gonna apologize on air. So Shawn, I'm sorry. That was left field. It was unprovoked, and I'm apologizing to you live on air. My fault, bro. Sorry.
I don't accept your apology.
Dangerous.
That's fine.
I don't accept your apology.
I just did it for the cameras anyway.
Ooh, you want to know what's great? Speaking of apologizing for the cameras, I'd like to thank you guys for our first segue. Apologizing to the cameras. Cue the J. Cole.
Yo.
Yeah, we're gonna jump right on in.
That is a crazy segue. But
so where are we gonna start? Are we gonna start with the new music that he released, or I guess the old new music that's been released, like kind of lost tape style, or are we gonna start with your analysis of this docu pods, whatever.
Let's go to the music first.
Great, glad you went there.
Yeah, because everything lines up. Part of Cole's rollout, for his retirement album, The Fall Off, continues in spectacular fashion. But he released the deluxe edition, I guess you could call it, of 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Now the catch is it's behind a paywall. If you're a member of the Inevitable series, which is his podcast, you got a link where you could purchase the album digitally with 8 new bonus tracks. I have the album and I have the bonus tracks, and what I will say, I can see why a lot of these songs did get cut. They're okay for the most part, but I see why they didn't make the vision of the album. But just for him to go back and give those to the fans, like you said, Coop, lost tape style, for what many people consider to be his best album, I think is dope of him to do. And I don't know if it's ever going to come on streaming services, but right now it's behind that paywall to buy digitally. And they sold the vinyls. Which I got a copy of one of those, one of which that was super limited. It sold out in like less than 5 minutes. They only pressed up 2014 copies, and they're selling for like $300 to $500 on eBay right now. And then they got the regular copy, which I was able to obtain one of those. So, but overall, the tracks is okay, but the rollout itself is pretty dope. Have any of you heard the tracks on YouTube or anything?
I heard the tracks. I can see why, like you said, I can see why they were left off. Nothing to go crazy over. I don't think they would have fit the original album itself, to be honest. I think some of them could have made a couple of loosies here and there. I think some of the verses could have been placed in different aesthetics around the album. But as far as fit in the nature of the album, they wouldn't have fit at all. So I can see them being on the cutting room floor. Some songs you can see where he probably was in a different space or in between records at the time, or like in the genesis, or even on the back end of the album itself. But as far as like the fit, I don't think none of them could fit, to be quite honest.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I do feel like a couple of the tracks fit, but I feel like most of it is just throwaways. I feel like the first record and the last record are actually the only actual dope records. That's Home Soon, and obviously feels like it feels like something from Kanye's first run. I mean that like in a good way. and you can kind of hear where Kanye's influence is all over the game in some of these like unreleased tracks.
Yeah, you
I
can.
mean, the first few records are all like stories that kind of spin off of some of the same thesis, you would say. And so I can see where he kind of felt kind of conflicted. It's like, well, which one of these three should I keep? Shit, should I keep any of the three? Oh, fuck it, I'm not keeping any of them. So I can see all of that as well. I actually did purchase the whole thing to listen to the music, so I will be going back to listen to some of the podcasts since this is going to be his last album. Yeah, right. um
I think this is it, Coop. I think this is it.
I think you want it to be it, Shawn. How about that?
I'm crazy, but no, I don't. I think he's too talented to quit at such a young. I think still a young age, and he's still got more to say. But the way this rollout is like coming out right now, the way things are shaping up, this might be it, man.
I got add another point to that that's showing that he wants to really walk away from the game. But before that, I wanted to make a few quick points about it was 2 episodes ago on the podcast, something y'all may remember in real time, but I don't. This was Born Center era, and I found it pretty fascinating because he was talking about when Born Center was getting ready to drop, and he was referencing that when his first album came out, Sideline Story, Watch the Throne came out the week after that and kind of stole all his thunder. And I kind of thought that's like counterproductive. If you got an artist that's your flagship artist on Rock Nation and you're trying to push them to the forefront, a super group with, Kanye and Jay, why Jay would, put that album out a week later to kind of steal the thunder. I mean, it's on brand for Jay, but at the same time, I just thought that was kind of weird. And then, go ahead, Coop, before I say what else. But
I don't want to get too far ahead into our subject matter, but I think that 50 has a tendency to say fascinating things about Jay, said some fascinating things about Jay that kind of make that move make sense. Not make it okay, but make it make sense if you understand who Jay really is at the end of the day.
From a competition aspect, right?
Correct.
But it's funny because things come full circle, and Cole kind of got the last laugh a little bit because I really don't remember this happening in real time, but he was talking about when Born Center came around. He was prepped to drop the album on a certain date, but then Kanye announced Yeezus was going to drop the week before him. So then he was kind of like, okay, I don't like that because I don't want to be an afterthought after, Kanye drops Yeezus and then people go and listen to my album and still buzzing about Yeezus. I don't want that to be a thing. So he said, he called his homie Eve and was like, yo, I'm trying to push my release date a week up with Yeezus. Mm-hmm. So he called Jay and got Jay's blessing. And Jay was like, well, shit. He was like, Kanye did the same thing with 50 Cent. So maybe you can take down the giant, like a passing the torch kind of thing. And then so Cole was like, okay, I'm gonna release the same day Yeezus. He said, because if anything, you're gonna have to choose, you're gonna have to talk about both of our albums, and you're gonna have to say which one is better. So when that happened, and I don't remember this happening in real time, but when it happened, and for those of y'all who don't like us to talk about numbers, we hear you, but you know what I'm saying, I think this is pertinent to the story. Cole did 295 the first week, and then Yeezus did 327. And I thought that was like pretty fascinating that he was that close. But what's even more fascinating is he said on the pod that Wale, okay, so Yeezus went number 1 that week. The second week, Cole outsold Yeezus on Born Center, so his cumulative 2-week sales was more than Yeezus. But the number 1 album that week was Wale because he was a new drop. And then the third week, Jay-Z dropped Magna Carta Holy Grail. Once again, just 2 weeks behind Cole, close to his artist. But then the fourth week that Born Center was out, you know what I'm saying, this is on shelves for a month at this point. He outsold Yeezus, Jay with Magna Carta, and Wale, and was the number 1 album in his fourth week. I thought that was pretty damn fascinating. I don't remember that happening in real time.
I remember that.
No, you don't.
Okay, so it happened in real time, but the impact wasn't felt in real time. It's just one of those things that happened, and that's why it feels that way. I mean, once again, back to the 50 interview where he's talking about Fab. It's like, oh no, it happened, but it wasn't a moment.
Yeah, that was some good content when he was talking about Fab.
It's the best part of the interview, in my opinion.
For sure. But what I was going to say that makes me really believe that Cole is stepping away for good, and this is a new layer to it that I didn't even consider. They announced that the last Dreamville Fest, the 5th and final one, will be next April 5th and April 6th.
Yeah.
And that kind of raised the eyebrow for me because I was looking at that like, okay, so he's saying he's not going to put out any more music, but evidently that would lend a clue that he's not going to be performing anymore either. And then I asked myself, is this really the right thing to do? Because I get it. You want to step away and you want to retire, but Dreamville Fest is a really big festival. And because you want to step away, what about your crew that still can eat a lot off of this festival?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? JID has made himself a household name to a degree. He can headline this festival and it can continue on, you know, with artists like Bass or, you know, Ari Lennox or whoever. They can continue the Dreamville Festival, but I don't think that it's appropriate just for like, because Cole's hanging it up to end the festival as a whole. Just think about everything it brings to North Carolina, to Raleigh. I just find it a weird move. What do you guys have to say about that?
I mean, if he's retiring, it makes sense, though, doesn't it?
But I mean, he's not the only person. He's the flagship artist of Dreamville, but it's other people that represent Dreamville that could carry that on.
Got to grow up now. Grow up now. When Jay retired the first time, hey,
yeah, I'm okay. So here's the thing: if he's quote unquote retiring, which means he won't be doing performances, who's their headliner now?
JID.
That's not enough to pack just yet. Not there yet.
That doesn't excite me.
His album making ability is better than his hit making ability, better than his charisma. And some of where you get placed generationally is timing. Like Drake, Kendrick, and Cole came around at a time when we were looking for what's next. And we went and they pretty much rose over the Wale's and the ASAPs over a course of time. But we were out there looking for something, and that was the best of what we got is how we got here.
Well, I see what you're saying, but a lot of Dreamville, like a lot of the draw was
what I'm saying. Like he hadn't been chosen like that yet to be a headliner like that yet.
Right, and a lot of the draw sometimes is the artists that pop up, like the guest artists that come out for concerts. But I just feel like that's a different thing. I see what you're saying because that's like saying if Lil Wayne was to retire for good and then stop doing the Louisiana Fest, but it's like attached to him. But I think Dreamville has more of a conglomerate type feel to it. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole label versus just associated with Cole.
It feels more versatile, but never. What I'm trying to say in a nice way is that, well, Ari's probably almost there. Ari, I guess, would be your headliner. Like
Ari could be a headliner, yeah.
Ari could be a headliner possibly, but it's like if that's your headliner, like that is a step down for Cole. Because here's something that you just kind of acknowledged. Well, he's been doing numbers since Yeezus, guys. Yeah. That's a long time to be doing big numbers.
Facts.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you this, Coop, because you're a North Carolina native. You know what I'm saying? Originally grew up in North Carolina. What does that do? Pulling that show from Raleigh, what does that do economically for North Carolina that it can still?
I like that you're discussing the economics of it because the economics of it is the first thing that I think of. It's like, oh, well, that's jobs that's leaving. And that's the last thing that we need from a place that, quite frankly, has been hurt by jobs in the latter, especially in the modern day times, because, well, it's been a tobacco farming place for a long time. So even though it hasn't been a good industry, these tobacco farms have supplied like jobs for generations and generation, and that is a industry that has died slowly. And for the greater good, that is a good thing for industry here, just for like the industrial plants in the Midwest, not a good thing for the state economically speaking. Another big thing economically that the state is affected by is hog farming. which they've had to been in battle with for a long time. So like a lot of the things that like bring people jobs in North Carolina, quite frankly, haven't been the healthiest thing for our environment and our community. And as we've gotten more educated and informed, those jobs have dissipated and disappeared because places have shut down because, well, it's not a sustainable way to live when you're passing out cancer on a stick or on a fork, quite frankly, with how you're sustaining, you know, pigs that are being slaughtered improperly and sent to various, you know, grocery stores across the nation, yada, 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 on and on. So even though it's so, you take something like the Dreamville Festival and you think that it's like, oh, well, that's not really affecting it. It's like, no, 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 it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are a lot of jobs going on in this state that used to exist that no longer exist just because of things being modernized. So definitely something that to think about in terms of how it economically is affected. And maybe they're going to do something different. Maybe they're just going to rename it and rebrand it something differently.
That's a good point. But real quick before we get off the cold topic, they sold tickets for the Dreamville Fest through the podcast link if you're a podcast member. But I think one of the dope things that they're going to do going forward, like being a member of subscribing to the podcast, another perk that they're going to do is his garden concert on the 16th, the Forest Hills anniversary. They're going to stream it live for anybody who's purchased the vinyl, the digital album, or the CDs, or the inevitable podcast. They're going to stream it live on a link that they'll, you know, provide you through your email if you know, cop something or a member of the podcast. So that'll be dope to watch it, you know, if you can't pull up to the garden.
No doubt. Yeah, we got some super chats, fellas.
Yeah. Thank you, Shawn. I was just about to get to those right quick. Oh God, happy holidays to me. Mad Max is in the house, guys. $9.99. Mad Max, what up, homie? Tell Coop free ice tray. Here we go. ATL, I don't know how to build around that serial killer ice tray. The modern day Pistol Pete with some Zeke isms. Not Pistol Pete or Zeke, but damn good. The Hawks have a legit team. You know what they have? They have a proven scorer, and they have wings with athleticism and length and youth and size. And that matters. If they were to land somebody like a Jimmy Butler via trade or something like that, I would consider them to be contenders. All right, next super chat. DJ253. Oh, 253, shout out. Is Dreamville ending? Something seems off. We don't know if it's off. We just don't know if it's still on. Mad Max 199, man, that Dreamville squad weak. JID ain't moving ish. You don't like JID, Mad Max? What are y'all thoughts on JID?
People say
JID is an album away.
People say JID is you know, Kendrick light. So, you know, if Mad Max don't rock with Kendrick,
they said that about Isaiah Rashad though.
Yeah, but if he don't rock with Kendrick, I wouldn't expect him to rock with JID though.
He doesn't have a draw.
Max we're talking about.
JID doesn't have a draw though. That's the only thing. When you go to when you think about Dreamville, you know, of course, Cole is at the center of all of that. And, you know, someone like JID, who I think is dope, he has got a dope album, but he just doesn't draw the attention that a Cole would draw, of course, right? There's a lot that goes behind Cole. And JID just doesn't have that. I think it's more personality-wise. Same thing we say about Big Sean. You know, we say how Big Sean is missing something, right?
Right.
That's how JID is. He's missing that it factor. He's missing that oomph, if you will. He won't be able to carry it, man.
Right.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I gotta go check on something. Something's going on upstairs.
All right.
That's cool. Well, he talked about Trey Young real quick, Shawn. Did you see where Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter bought minority stake in the Bills?
I love it.
Yeah, that was dope. That wasn't a move I saw coming.
I love it. Need more of that. We need more of that, man. Hopefully they can get a good stake and not like 3%. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it could be something like what Jay. I think Jay did that, right? Jay had like 2% in the Brooklyn.
I don't even know if it was that. It was like 0.00 something or whatever. I don't know.
I got like 0.05%, you know, on the Knicks. But you know what I mean?
But the point of that is so you can be like the face of something, even if you're not a high, you know, stakeholder in it. You could be the face of something where, you know, face recognition.
Yeah.
So that's what Jay was for Brooklyn.
How's Griselda feel about that? I mean,
yeah, nobody called Westside on that.
Right. Right.
Mad Max with another 199 super chat. Send Trey to the Rockets so he can win the chip. Where would y'all put the Rockets if Trey Young went to the Rockets, fellas?
They ain't winning the championship.
Yeah, win the championship, but it makes them a little dangerous.
They'd be maybe probably like a 4 seed with Trey, 3-4 seed.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Any final thoughts about Cole before we slide to the next topic?
Nah.
Sums it up.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's get to Redman, who's about to follow up his classic Muddy Waters 2 and has dropped the new single Jersey. Shawn, you set it off with this one. Tell me what you think about the single Jersey by Redman.
Look, man, Redman never disappoints with the lyrics. Never disappoint with the charisma, the style, the flow. It's who Redman is. It's 2024 though. And I say this with love. I say this with love. It's 2024. It's not 1994, right? And I mean that respectfully, with the most respect. I don't think a lot of people are checking for that style from Redman in 2024, going into 2025, because he's never going to disappoint you with just, style and raps and just lyrics, all of that. But it's just, you got to update, you got to reboot sometimes. And he's like the artist that can reboot. He's not an artist. He is who he is. He never had to evolve, honestly. And I think that's like one of the.
Hold on. He never had to evolve. Take that further for me. Let's unpack that. I think that's fascinating that you said that.
Some rappers never had to evolve, and he's one of those guys because of the way his style is. Because Redman doesn't really. If you think about what tree Redman come from, it's hard to trace it back.
I don't think he has a tree. I think he is the tree.
That's what I'm saying. You can't trace it back. You can't.
Very good point.
You can't trace back Redman's tree. You can't say, well, he has this style from this person or this foundation, right? He doesn't have a lineage. He really his own lineage. So he never had to evolve as an artist. Because if you listen, I went back and listened to a lot of Redman music this week for some crazy reason. They all sound alike. Dope, but they all sound alike. And I don't know if it's because he was using Eric's sermon the whole time. He didn't step outside that box.
Hold on. Neither did Mobb beat for 4 or 5 albums.
Until we got to Infamy. Then it got weird.
Yeah, we'll cover all that.
I'm about to say that's not helping the argument though.
That's my point.
No, I'm saying this to say and I'm not saying that you're like against Redman, but like let's say as an advocate for Redman, let's say, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because for some people, if it works, and that's what you're gonna get from them. Like we know what we're getting from Cool G Rap, we know what we're getting from EPMD, we know what we're getting from Red. Like,
that's what I'm saying. If you're not, go ahead, Coop. My fault.
No, you're cool.
No, I was just gonna say, like, if you're not versatile, if your wheelhouse is like a small wheelhouse, as long as it's like something that people gravitate towards, you can get away with that. So I think that's an excellent point you made, Shawn, because he never had to evolve, because Redman was kind of like, I don't want to say in a class by himself, but he kind of did his own thing. And then like Method Man, when he linked up with Meth, they were kind of like alikes in that respect. So, and he was always looked at as like, he's going to have the bars, he's going to have the funny content, but we didn't really look at him like a serious. I mean, he was a lyricist, but the content was what was lacking. But Redman was so dope, he was able to get by without having that. And I think that's a very excellent point that you made. But if it's good, then like Coop said, if it ain't broke, why fix it? Like Pusha T gets away with that, Griselda gets away with that. They stay in their wheelhouse. But I actually feel the opposite about these new records that you feel about, because when I put them on, it's actually a 2-piece. It's a single, a little 2-pack. It's Jersey and then Don't Want to See Me Rich. When I put those records on, I was kind of like thrown off, because this is vibey Redman. Like they're two, kind of vibey tracks, and that's not something that Redman was really known for a lot, in his heyday. They were kind of enjoyable, but for me, I was kind of thrown off about, I was like, I didn't know if I wanted vibey Redman for 2 straight songs. I thought one of the joints was going to be like that, but not both.
I'll tell you what. I hate to say this. It hurts me inside to say this. Gonna have to agree with Shawn. Gonna have to agree with Shawn. Because, okay, so here's the thing. I don't think necessarily what Shawn is saying is a bad thing. It is what it is thing. So let's discuss the first thing that I asked Shawn to unpack, which was, well, you saying he didn't have to evolve. I find when you said that, you know who I thought of in basketball terms? I thought of Carmelo Anthony. And
No,
Redman
don't do this to me. Carmelo's my favorite, man. Don't do this.
No. If you, I actually have some complimentary things to say. If you actually think about Carmelo, well, you really can't name more than 5, 6, 7 players better in his era than him. Right. So he's a top player for his era.
Yes.
And he's an all-time great player. He is a top 75 player. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the toughest guards, just like Reggie's one of the toughest dudes on the mic to compete with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it is like you get the feeling you woke up one day and you felt like the game had passed them by in terms of what they brought to the table that was superior, supreme, that put them in that category. And that happens sometimes. And so it's like when you have your run, you have your run. If you look at his run, which is pretty much like essentially a 10-year run from about 90 to 2000, 2001, like as far as like the real peak part of the run, it's like, no, he did some wonderful things. He dropped 4 great albums. He dropped a great group album. He dropped a great, we dropped a good above average to great duet album with Meth. He countless rhyme of the year caliber verses, rhyme of the year verses, like the last verse on How High. Like he did it all in a 10-year stretch. It's a great Hall of Fame career to have. It's just for some people they're not able to adapt like a LeBron or a Steph or a KD did, that were kind of like his classmates in a sense. You know what I'm saying? They were just able to evolve their games and start picking stuff up to make it work for the modern day era. But as far as the run goes, a great run, and that's kind of how I look at Red. But also have to agree with Shawn, not really feeling the music like that because I don't know if people checking for it. It's hard for me to get into it. It's hard for me to get into it. I'm not going front.
That's good points. Oh, go ahead, Shawn.
No, I was in agreement with Coop because the Carmelo thing, it resonates with me more because Melo had a MIDI out of this world. You know what I'm saying? In today's league, a MIDI can still get you points, but the 3-ball is what gets you the real points, right? And that's the same thing with Red. Red was always nice. We never said, "Oh, that was a whack album by Red." You know what I mean? Like we never had those conversations. Like we talked about Meth. We said that Tikal was a downer. You know, over years, in real time, we love Tikal because it was still off the strength of Woo. But over years, people never really championed Tikal as a classic or even as a cult classic. We champion Muddy Waters as a classic or a cult classic.
Well, here's the thing: like Redman has at least 3 albums better than Tikal.
Yeah,
I give him 2 for sure.
I think what the album There's the Dark Side and Muddy Waters are all better than Tikal, like just objectively speaking.
I would have a hard time putting What the Album over Tikal, but I feel what you're saying though.
You personally might like that's what I'm saying. For like, how about this? For its time, What the Album bigger and more impactful and more important than Tikal, even if you don't think the music's better.
That's fair. But I want to ask both of you a really tough question. And as you was talking, Coop, it made the picture kind of clear. But in a world where Nas can get with a Hit Boy and churn out 6 fire albums and kind of reinvent himself, in a world where Common can get with P Rock and give us a vintage sound and people still give it critical acclaim, and then in a world where LL Cool J can come back, link with Q-Tip, and Method Man can blaze features, so on and so forth. Are we saying that in 2024 there is no place for a Redman?
You mind if I take that right quick, Shawn? Is that cool?
Please.
To be honest with you, I think it's going to come down to the production, because when you were just talking right now, I was thinking, well, it's like it really wasn't the MC that made the difference. At the end of the day, it was the producer, because a producer's job is to make the artist sound good. Part of making an artist sound good, I wouldn't say young is the word, but making them sound updated, making them sound modern, making them sound like this is a modern day version. Like Nas is not talking any differently on these 6 albums. The themes haven't changed.
Not really.
They haven't.
No,
they're more mature, but I see. Yeah, you're right though.
The canvases, painting on, he's good with oil and acrylic. It's like he's been doing it for 30 years. It's like, no.
Right.
Those are oil and acrylic paintings. Those are the same oil and acrylic paintings we've been looking at. But they sound fresh.
Yeah.
They sound like 2020 something. They don't sound like 1994 nostalgic Nas talking about betting grants with the CeeLo champs. It sounds like Death Row East, talking about those times now that like he's taking advantage of his OG sound status, and Hit Boy's giving him a modern sound.
Mm-hmm.
Who's giving Redman a modern sound is the question. We know the caliber of MC. He's a top 20 MC all time.
Absolutely, but he can't make a store run. He can't make a pressure. He can't have the nostalgia and the look back that someone. Because think about it, we grew up on Nas, right? So we walked with him throughout that career. The King's Disease and Magic trilogies, respectfully, both of them, he's taking us down memory lane, no pun intended, because he's going back to talk about wearing, the red leather, with flames. And he's talking about these things that we can identify. He's like, yo, I remember we had the red leather jumpsuit on stage. I remember the flames come up behind him as he's walking in the Hit Me Now video. All of these things are triggering our emotion, how we are tied to Nas as an artist, as our favorite artist. Red doesn't have that nostalgia look back and pull back.
Hold on. Let me ask you all something. Hold on, AG. I'm glad that you asked this question, AG. Hold on. Did Redman never have a moment? Like, was Redman ever that dude?
He stayed
no. I was going to allude to that, Coop. I think top 20 is high. I think top 20 is too high for Red, and I love Red, but I think 25 to 30, 25-30 might be more appropriate.
No, I can't do that because they're not.
You can rattle off 19 other names real quick, man. Like it adds up.
No, not with better bars and albums put together. No, like
you got G. You got G over Red.
Like, who G-Rap?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I asked that because I wanted to see what realm you was operating in. So if you don't have G over Red, then I can see why you got Red in top 20. So I understand that. I just had to ask that one question.
Like, it'd be hard for me to put Black Thought over Red because I'm like, man, like Red got four like bangers.
Oh yeah.
And he got El Nino. Like, think about this.
Right.
He has El Nino, Blackout,
and Blackout,
Muddy Waters. There is a Dark Side. What the album? Like, you telling me that there's 20 MCs with just those six?
In my mind, in my mind, it's falling more closer to 25 than it is 20 because I'm just rattling a bunch of names off the top of my head.
And actual skill wise, like think about the guys that you might put ahead of him. What would happen if it was actually become like on a record? Like who would do what?
Yeah.
Ooh, no,
the catalog is strong. That's his strongest, chip that he can put to the center of the table.
Like, how about this? Him and Nas are the only guys from the 90s that can get on a Wu-Tang record and stunt on Wu-Tang lyrically.
That's a very valid point.
Very valid point. Not many can do that. Not on a posse for that day. On a posse. Yeah.
It's not even a handful of cats that can do that. So good point, Coop.
No, those were the two guys from the 90s. Yeah, those two, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Let's be real. They wouldn't let you on the track if you couldn't do that.
You couldn't do that. Yeah. Yeah. We got more C's than AODD.
So he's like that to me, and I'm not like his biggest fan in terms of like me. I'm a big fan of Muddy Waters. I'm a big fan of what he does lyrically and his way of thinking and patternizing rhymes, because I do believe he invented a style of rhyming. But like I can't think of 20 guys. No, like it's one of those things. Like I have him ahead of Guru too.
Yeah, I do too. But that might be his moment to answer your question, is because I didn't realize that till you and Shawn said it, that he doesn't have, like Shawn said, he doesn't have anybody that comes before him where you can see, okay, Redman is the lineage of this person. Now Eminem, you could, and he'll tell you as much. He'll point to Redman like, yo, I'm from the school of Redman. But maybe that's his moment in and of itself. He like developed, a rap style or, whatever that's kind of like the first of his kind, because I can't think of anybody before him either.
How about this? Part of his problem also may be that, the style that he's an author of is the least talked about. Like his tree is the least talked about. Absolutely. Everybody talks about Kane and Rakim, KRS, and so on and so forth. And you know, Melly Mel before that, and like Kaz and Kumo.
Mm-hmm.
Like we kind of got our trees organized already. And when it comes to that tree, we really don't talk about like, oh, Redman, Busta Rhymes, ODB, Eminem, all that rah rah. That yeah.
Hey, Bricks just made a good point.
Okay.
Redman moment could have been How High. Think about how big How High was. And Bricks from Jersey. So
to me that was the moment, because I think just like as far as like in a vacuum, as far as a rap song duet, you can make argument that it's the greatest rap duet song ever. Just like if we're just talking about one song, not saying that they're the best duo, but if we're just talking about one rap song, because think about it, it's a street record and a hit record, and lyrically is just out of this world. And that is rare that a record is that lyrical and that big of a hit. And the hook is his.
Yeah. To that point though, that's a shared moment with Method Man, but he was talking about the song. But when Brick said that, I was thinking about the album, because maybe his moment was the album, because I think he clearly out rapped Meth on that entire album.
I mean,
Meth was punchlining like crazy on that record.
Go back and listen, man.
Okay. Red is a better traditional lyricist than Method Man, and I want to be careful when I say that. Like, Redman's a better traditional lyricist. Part of what makes Method Man special is that vocally and style wise, we hadn't really heard anybody like Method Man with that combo either.
If you don't know either MC, like the Star Power, the Wu-Tang affiliation, if you're an A&R and you hear that album and you listen to both of them side by side, who are you saying like, yo, that one's the guy?
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, I would tell you that Redman's a better MC, but I'm telling you that I'm signing Meth because Meth is the star, and you can still hear that too.
You can still, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, of the two, between the two.
But that's why it works, though. That's why the combination works.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dope Red talk. I like it.
Love
it. So let's finish with the Red talk right quick and get to a couple super chats. We went a little bit over on that one. So Red is celebrating 2 of his album releases, which is, Muddy Waters, which was released December 10th, 1996, and Doc's the Name, which was released December 8th, 1998. This is part of the run, guys. I mean, I feel like this is a 5 and a 4. And that's what I mean. It's like, if you look at his run in the 90s, it's like, well, everything he dropped was a 4 or 4.5, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
It's like,
Mr. Consistency. Yeah.
And I was talking about a vibey Redman record. I still listen to The Goodness often. Like, that joint is a bop.
How about this? Like people that have Andre and Black Thought ahead of Redman, where's your 1990s evidence?
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. Like, where's your actual 1990s evidence?
Yeah. No,
I love those guys. And I prefer to listen to Black Thought and Andre over Red. That's why I'm saying that. It's like, but speaking,
I don't know how much you're gonna love. This is a sidebar, but I don't know how much you're gonna love Andre if you read that quote that he put out. Was it today? Yeah.
That's not gonna make the show today. All right, let's go to the super chats, guys. Of course, I don't rock with JID. This is Mad Max with the $9.99 super chat. Of course, I don't rock with JID. His voice
Shout out to Max.
I'll give him props. His last album is just as weak as Good Kid, Mad City, or Strong. We you prefer Mad Max? He be typing too fast sometimes, fam, and I need you to slow down.
Mad Max is crazy, man.
Yeah, Mad Max is crazy. CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. What's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope I didn't miss much. Came in while you guys were talking about my hometown hero. Oh, sorry to break your heart. Mad Max 199. Redman is dark humor Kane. He has a lineage. I don't know about that.
I don't see the connection.
I don't see the connection. I don't see it.
Stuff to draw out.
Yeah. You tried, Mad Max. We got any more super chats on the board? Oh, we got plenty of super chats on the board.
Yeah, we do.
Andrew Williams with the $4.99 super chat. Nas spoiled us. Because of Nas, subconsciously we think every legend is supposed to be great for 30 years, and it's just not reality. Nas' style is timeless. So, if I may, real quick, gentlemen, this is the effect that I was talking about. This Hit Boy run was going to have on our generation, on our ears. It was going to make it look make us look at all his contemporaries differently when they release projects. And I said this when this was going on because I can remember when Rick Ross and Big Boy released their projects a couple of Decembers ago, and I was like, I know this project is good, but because of what Nas is doing, and because these are peers, quote unquote, Big Boy more so than Rick Ross, because Ross is a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, but elder statesmen in the game, I'm like, no, it's hard for me to enjoy these projects right now. And that's some of what has gone on with us with our ears for those of us that have heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Jermaine
true.
Johnson with the 199 super chat. Unfortunately, Trey Young is the man at the Garden. He really is.
Yes, he is.
Just shooting dice on the logo.
That's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Great. Tell you when Trey must have went to the east side on the low. He must have went to Redan or Cedar Grove.
It's crazy.
Something.
It's
Mad
heavy.
Max with the 999 super chat. Redman has his own tree of sons. How he not top 20? I can make the argument he's top 10 or no lower than top 15. And I don't even like Redman like that because I don't get him, but I gotta respect him. Mad Max, I actually agree with you. I can't really be honest with you guys. I can't see an argument for actually even 15 MCs better than Redman when I think about it. But we can have that conversation the other day.
I'm there with you.
Do you got him right around next to Common? About that ballpark?
Yep. Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah,
Same
I think that's a good area. That's a good comparison.
Yeah, same wheelhouse. He's somewhere in my 11 to 15 range with Common.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Mad Max 999 again. And Redman is Bizarro. Kane, he's a bars rapper. Punchline, like who just adds humor to his style. He's Kane with a twist. Pause. I'm not touching that.
I still don't see it.
Don't see it.
Nobody knows what you're talking about, Mad Max. You tried.
But thank you for your super chats, though.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Gave us 2 to prove that point.
CJ the Kid with the $2 super chat. Is Doc's the name better than Takal? No.
Nah.
But
And
still a solid album. Doc's name is. I think they're both, like you said, Coop. I think both of them are 4s. I'd give Takal a 4 and Doc's the name a 4, but not all 4s are created equal. So I'm going with Takal.
Well, how about this? If you actually look at the stuff that Redman did before and around Doc's the Name is the weakest project. Like El Nino is better. Muddy Water, we know what Muddy Waters is. Blackout that's coming right after is better.
Yep.
So all the projects around it are just better, and so it seems kind of like just okay. But there's stuff on there. The Goodness, Busta Rhymes, I'll Be That. There's there's some of that bully foot rap that he's infamously known for on there. Of course.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we going? We're gonna do a quick little classic rundown right quick.
Yeah. We have to do deep dive just to run through. Yeah.
Personal favorite of mine, guys, Carter 2, released December 6, 2005. This came out when I was living in Cali. This was my Southern vibe. This and T.I.'s King is what I played the most when I was out there. Commons B, Carter 2, T.I.'s King. Those were the 3 that were in rotation. Money on My Mind is my favorite Lil Wayne song. I think it's his best album to this day. I don't care what you Carter 3 motherfuckers have to say about it with your corny pop tendencies. Can't stand you. Happy ass Negroes. Carter 2 is his real album. And so I don't really got to say about the Carter 2, gentlemen. Oh no, the Oh No interlude, that might have been the rhyme of the year in 2005 as well. Which is saying a lot. So
Leather So Soft was my joint on here. Is that on this one? Carter 2, right? Leather So Soft? Was that on here?
It was Leather So Soft on here.
Hustler music. Hustler music.
There's no Birdman on here. This album can't be a classic if Birdman.
I passed it AG then. Pardon me.
Hustler music, fly in, fly out. You know what I'm saying? Money on My Mind's up there.
The Mobb?
Yeah.
Ooh, the Mobb? That's one of the best rap intros ever.
Yeah, and like here's the thing. The numbers are out of order, but the Carter 2 is very much Jay-Z Volume 1 to me, where the bars are better and than the Carter 3, but the Carter 3 is the major album. Like Jay-Z's Volume 2 was his major album, and it was the culmination of everything. But the Carter 2, he has a song Best Rapper Alive on there, and not that I was really buying into that notion at that time, but it made me like really pay attention. Like, okay, I don't agree with that at all, but he's putting his name in the hat though. You know what I'm saying? It was the combination of the mixtapes, Carter 2, and all the features around that era. And Carter 3 was just a culmination of all that. But for me as a fan, Carter 2 was the one where I was really starting to buy into Lil Wayne.
I agree, AG. I love the Volume 1 analysis. I love that comparison. It's very
and the East Coast aesthetic helped because the Carter 1 didn't have the East Coast aesthetic that the Carter 2 has.
Well, Manny did all of the Carter 1. And then the fallout happened. He was in, Manny did tracks for the Carter 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Carter 2 was what was getting made when the fallout happened. And it made Wayne had to go in a whole nother different direction. But I think that direction actually ended up helping him in the long run. It is his Volume 1 in a lot of ways. Because in a lot of ways, getting like Money on My Mind for me is very like Imaginary Players. Like it's that record that I identify Wayne like the MC has. So
yeah, but you was making a joke about the pop Carter 3. Do you think that around this era where you have the Soldier feature and then Shooter on his own album that was the start of that era?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he was segueing into superstardom. Don't get me twisted about like the Carter 3. The Carter 3 is a great album. The Carter 3 is a great album. It's not, but it is. A lot of that stuff on there is like, how about this? I feel like Drake wrote a lot of that album. That's how that album sounds.
Time to segue to the next one.
I feel like Drake wrote a lot of the album, like them hooks on there, got money, you throw it in, this away.
That's pain. That's pain right there.
But what I'm saying is that there were so many factors into play. Like Wayne was so heavy.
It was a lot. It was a lot,
dude.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
It was a time.
What I'm saying is there are so many influences on that album. It's like you can call that Wayne's classic, but they're so collaborative to me in terms of the sounds, in terms of what I'm hearing stylistically. It don't sound like a Lil Wayne album to me.
Okay, so yeah, I agree with that. And he was hanging out with the Dipset a lot at that time. You know what I'm saying? So you get that whole aesthetic. But we're arguing Carter 2 versus Carter 3. So are we saying that he has two definitive classics?
I think Carter 2 and Carter 3 are classics. I'm okay with
that. I just wanted to clarify that we're saying that he has two, or was it one and a possible? Because either one could be the possible. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
right, depending on how you feel and depending on where you follow him in his career and what you feel it's like. Yeah.
By modern standards, I think he does have two classics, because if people saying like Forest Hills Drive and joints on that level is classic, then I think Carter 2 and Carter 3 are definite classics.
I think Carter 2 and Carter 3 are better than Forest Hills Drive.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to some more classic stuff, or not so much. Common, Electric Circus, December 10th, 2002.
They're talking about Common right now in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, stuff like this is why I have Redman over Common.
Yeah.
Nah, I love this because it's necessary. Sometimes you got to fall to get back up. You know what I mean? Like, listen.
Got to fall to get back up. Look at this album cover.
First of all.
The album cover.
But look, though, I'm going to ask y'all a real question. Would B be the classic that it is if this wasn't its predecessor? That's what made B that much more special. Stillmatic came after Nostradamus. We got that. We got Mama Said Knock You Out after Walking Like a Panther. You know what I'm saying?
You need to stop that. You need to stop that.
It's one of the B is one of the greatest comeback albums of all time. And as great as B is, we not holding B as high if Electric Circus did not come before it.
You need to stop. I'm going to tell you why you need to stop.
That's a fact.
No,
not all falls are created equally. Okay.
Right.
See,
all them falls is about the same.
See, let's see. Some falls are like falling off of like Stone Mountain, where these racist ass people put up these racist ass white men on a big mountain here in Atlanta, Georgia. Still can't get over it. So traumatized. It's like y'all actually did this. You let these white people get away with this crazy shit.
AG tripping, man.
And then there's Mount Everest.
What am I tripping for?
Okay, falling off of Stone Mountain. Falling off a Stone Mountain and falling off of Mount Everest, them ain't the same falls, AG.
Look at the album.
Mount Everest type of fall.
Yo,
Sean, put the cover back up. The cover tells you everything that you need.
It tells you everything. Look how he
I didn't know. Y'all missing my point. I'm not saying I like Electric Circus. I just said it was necessary to his story because B is not held in the same regard if Electric Circus doesn't come before it. I'll put that on everything. And B is a great album.
Look how he's
classic album.
He's looking on Electric Circus.
Yo, real question. What do y'all got? Electric Circus or Universal Mind Control? Which one y'all got?
None of the above.
Nah, you gotta pick one. You gotta pick one. Which one you taking?
Damn.
Why would you do that to us?
Hey, man, that's
why would you do that in the comment?
It's a real question. Give me Universal Mind Control, but which one you taking?
Right now, you're deflecting.
Actually, Electric Circus has come close.
Trash. It's very bad. Man.
That's it.
They're both bad.
Everything else is terrible between the two projects.
It is.
And when people be talking about
is it Erica's fault?
It's Dilla's fault. Who's the producer?
I don't know. Erica was turning niggas out around this time, man. They was making some wild stuff.
Man, Erica been turning niggas out since 1996. Like, look, we man, knew this by then. We knew this by then.
Me out. I never met Erica. She had me writing some wild stuff.
Yeah, Erica, man. Common started wearing like sweater knit hats and made Electric Circus. You know, you see what 3K was doing, and then like what's his name? Jay Electronica disappeared. Like,
look here, fellas. I seen Erica like in her prime.
Me too, Coop.
That waist with that ass.
No, she was sitting down the whole. I saw her in Japan, man.
Oh no, I worked Seven's birthday party when they were younger. Like her and Dre came to one of the spots that I worked at. I worked Seven's 5th birthday party. That Erykah Badu? Oh no. Shit.
Yeah.
Me. Self-explanatory why he made Electric Circus. Your boy was, you know what I'm saying? It was a little smitten.
That's that Texas. That's that Texas.
A little smitten with the knit mittens. That's a bar.
No. It's not a bar. Don't do that again.
That's not a bar. Don't ever do that again.
Not a bar.
Never do that again.
Not a bar. That's wild. Yo, has AG been drinking?
With the mittens.
Water. Just water.
It's starting to leak. It's starting to leak out right now.
AG put a little rum in the eggnog?
No, this is what he is. This is what he is.
Hanging around.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Shawn be saying this every show. Shawn say this every show. You try to like, you know what I say, Coop? You remember on New Jack City where he was like, yeah, the head of the TFP's back there, the educated brother. That's how Shawn be trying to do me on every show.
Yeah, educated brother in West Virginia.
Okay, let's get to a couple of super chats and then finish up these anniversaries. Better hip hop catalog: Gibbs, Wayne, K. Cole.
That's tough. I got to give it to that's tough.
I'm eliminating Cole.
You kind of got to.
And I'm eliminating Wayne. It's between Gibbs and Doc.
I'm giving it to Gibbs. When I think about it,
I could go either way, but
well, here's how I feel. Gibbs doesn't have a subpar project for us to talk about. These other guys do.
But to Shawn's point, Gibbs don't have the it factor, so you kind of got to lean towards Kendrick a little bit in that regard.
That's a tough one. That's a good one, MJ. That's a good one.
But he said catalog, not peak. If we're talking peak, it's Kendrick. If we're talking full catalog, it's still Gibbs. Because Gibbs don't have no misses.
It's still close, but people would say that Kendrick's hits, like, I don't like To Pimp a Butterfly like that, but To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, Good Kid, all rank more higher than Gibbs's best. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so here's the thing. After that, though, it would be like 7 Gibbs projects in a row.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
But Good Kid, Mad City is all time. Like, Gibbs don't have an all timer. You know.
No doubt.
All right. We got Infamy.
We got a couple more super chats. Cool. We got like 2 more.
Good
got
Lord.
Jermaine Johnson. No, I'm sorry. We got 3 more.
Y'all spending bread today. I
appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. Jermaine Johnson. Oh, Ill Magic. The Hustle is the only song I like on Electric. You keep thinking that, Ill Magic. You keep on thinking.
Yeah. I don't think
Jermaine. The album's not any good.
It's
Been
not.
saying it I've been saying it for decades now.
It's
Jermaine Johnson with the 199 super chat. Yep, Nas Hit Boy run happened after the Nasir album. Jermaine, hey. Stay
It
on the
was
board.
necessary. That's my point. Jermaine gets it. Thank you.
Okay, Nasir.
Thank you.
Nasir has stuff like Cop Shot the Kid.
Only one I go back to is White Label for me.
I love
White label, everything. Like, no, there's stuff on Nasir. There's not anything on Electric Circus.
Yeah.
There's stuff on Nostradamus.
But the
There's even
sentiment
stuff on
of what I'm
Kingdom Come.
saying, Jermaine gets it. Thank you. It's a necessary fall to rise from the ashes.
Ill Magic 499. Erica had Common in limbo so much Kanye had to form an inception to pull Common back into reality with B.
Ill Magic. I had to put myself into. I never met her face to face. I just saw her on stage.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm telling you. That's what he's seen. He's seen that small waist and all that ass.
I saw her on stage.
I know what I seen. When I seen her, I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, it's like I see where all these niggas from."
She was sitting down. I didn't see any of that. She was sitting down.
Erica had Common wearing a pot holder for a Scully in the video, bro.
I was doing the same thing, and I saw her sitting down at the stage. I left. I had to leave.
You should have stayed.
It was an open field, and she started playing the guitar, and I was like, right now, I had to leave.
Should have stayed. Change your life.
Change my life.
Should have stayed. Esquire with the $5 holla. Did y'all see Noble's interview about the Pac Nas history? He says Nas fabricated his bars about QB chain inspiring Pac's medallion, among others. Yeah. I saw pieces of it. I haven't watched the full thing yet.
I put the interview in the chat. Yeah. Dude said that Nas ain't have his QB piece until 99 on the front of the QB Finest album. I'm like, they could do your research because, first of all, he had that in 96 when it was written drop because he got the Rap City interview with Big Les in 96 when the album was getting ready to come out, and he's rocking the QB piece. So,
and the Firm album.
Yeah, he had it. Yeah, he had it long before then. They be trolling a lot on that channel.
We're not playing those games today.
They're the new Vlad.
Ghost with more fish. 12-12-06, guys. What we think about more fish?
I love
that.
You're the Ghost guy. Go ahead and wax poetic about more fish. Tell us how great it is.
And I love this album. It was, of course, the carryover from Fish Scale. I've always felt that's all it was. It was just more carryover than anything else. I love the album. I thought he was really putting the team on, putting his crew on more than anything. I think Sun God to me stole the show off of Miguel Sanchez. We had Phantom of the Beats. We interviewed Phantom of the Beats twice actually, and he actually produced that record. And I still today think that's one of the best records that Ghost actually went crazy on the remix actually because Sun God did the first. I mean, Sun God and Trife did that joint. But yeah, nothing more to say. It's a solid effort. I think it was more about I think it was more just carryover from Fish Scale.
I want to ask you a question on that, Shawn, since you're the Ghost guy. Well, two questions. Do you prefer Fish Scale or More Fish, number one? And number two, do you think it would have been better served as a double album?
I don't think it should have been a double album. I think because Fish Scale to me was on a higher clip. I think this was the leftover tracks going into from Fish Scale. I think that's why he called it More Fish. Because I think during that time, this came out in 06, right? This came in 06. Ghost was he was in a creative mode during that time. And he was also putting, the Theodore unit on point too. Again, I still think that Sun God should have had a lot more to say on that album because he went crazy over Miguel Sanchez. His son, he looked just like Ghost too. Just like Ghost. I met Sun God. Looked just like Ghost.
What if I told you that he should have just put the best of this on Fish Scale and taken the weaker stuff off Fish Scale, and he would have?
And I would be mad at that.
Like a deluxe, like a Fish Scale deluxe.
I feel like okay. So like Fish Scale's a classic to me. Like if I'm picking Ghost's albums, like for me it goes Supreme, Iron, Fish, then Bulletproof.
Yeah.
I feel like the best of More Fish with a couple of proper edits on Fish Scale puts Fish Scale in Supreme Iron Man territory, which I don't think it resides in.
That's a good point.
And then he's walking around with 3 certified classics, and then that's top 5 type shit when you're walking around with 3.
Yeah, because the weaker stuff hurts.
Like not certified. Like think about this: how many guys are really walking around with 3? Like where we know they got 3. Like
Jay,
we know they got
Nas,
3.
like it ain't Pac, it ain't too many.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's how I always look at More Fish. I'm like, oh no, I wish he just would have put all that together and edited it out. I would have liked to see RZA executive produce More Fish and Fish Scale. I feel like that may have been like the thing.
That would have been fire. More Fish, the weaker songs do drop it down a little bit because as constructed, I got Pretty Tony album over More Fish.
Oh, me too. All day long.
Oh, Pretty Tony's better than More Fish, but not better than Fish Scale.
Right.
I love Pretty Tony though. Yeah, Pretty Tony was vintage Ghost for me.
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty Tony rounds out my top 5, and then I'd probably have More Fish at 6 or 7.
Right, because More Fish more compilation driven than anything else.
It's a lot of
stuff. Good compilation stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was putting people on. Yeah.
We got some crazy super chats coming in. Cool.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get to them right quick. CJ the Kid with $5. Don't sleep on More Fish. Has some bangers on there. Please tell them, Shawn, that MF Doom produced joint was nuts.
It was, no doubt. Shout out to CJ.
Okay, CJ, don't be taking Shawn's side in public. Okay.
I'm mad we never got that collab album though. Man, I wish we'd have got that Doom and Go collab album.
Ghost and Doom. Yeah, that would have been nice. Pocket Full of Ghosts, $9.99. First super chat. Shout out Pocket Full of Ghosts. Shout out Shawn, my Marine brother, Semper Fi. Coop, I live in the Greensboro by way of GA. AG, love show. Just want to support the pod. Appreciate you, fam. Yeah, G Burrow. My first crib was on Yanceyville. Pocket. Cam Porter, $10 holla. Should Benny get more credit for starting the album with Hit Boy Wave? Good question.
Nah, King's Disease came before Burden of Proof.
We may not get the Nas Hit Boy album.
It did. It came right. No, it came. Yeah, King's Disease came right before Burden of Proof. Yeah.
We may not get the Nas Hit Boy albums without Nas hearing what Hit Boy was able to do with that ? I do feel like Benny was working. Okay, so for me, the way that I was told how the Nas thing unfolded is that he was just going to hit for a joint.
That was it. Yeah, that's how it started.
And that he ended up coming back, and so there might have been some overlap in time in terms of Benny and Nas. And how it came together, especially with how long Benny has taken to put together. I feel like when Benny works with Alchemist and Hit, he takes longer than he usually takes when he works with other producers. When he works with other producers, he just puts it out. When he works with Al, like he sits down and crafts it. And so maybe some overlap.
It was right after. King Disease came in August 2020. Burden of Proof came out in October of 2020.
But
right afterward. Yeah.
A lot of people were pulling up on Hit Boy at the same time, but the Nas joint started out as he said he wanted it to be a Valentine's Day EP. That's how we got joints like All Bad and you know what I'm saying, As the War Was Won and all them joints. But then it took shape as King's Disease instead. So
yep. Who else we got?
Marquise Davis with the $20 super chat. Just want to give another anniversary shout out. Not an album, but a verse. Biggie recorded, in my opinion, his best verse in December 1996 with Tracy Lee. Keep your hands high. That second verse, Big went nuts. Dude just got better. I agree.
Great pick.
Tracy Lee.
The Tracy Lee shit.
Yeah, I think it's conflicting stories. I've heard stories that was the last verse he recorded. Then I heard Victory was the last verse he recorded.
I've heard Victory, but all around the same time. Like those last run of verses, you can hear him somewhere where he's so comfortable and so at ease on the mic, and he's so like
it's scary. He was
like,
leveling up.
It's like when the best sniper becomes a better sniper, and it's like, oh, everybody's dead. That's what listening to him at the end sound like. It's like, oh no, everybody's in trouble. Like
that's a fact.
But that's why again, I don't get too much off topic, but that's why I Am was gearing up to be a double CD, because while Big was doing that, Nas was also in the process of leveling up. Conceptually wise, that's why he wanted the whole thing with I Am to be the double CD, the birth, the rebirth, all of that. So
they was paying attention to each other. It's competition.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Nas
I
wasn't
mean,
sliding.
Big said it himself about, like, you know what I'm saying? Illmatic going to It Was Written, took on Ready to Die, listening to study shit. Now you on some money shit, successful out the blue. Like, they was talking to each other. They was paying attention to one another.
And Nas was going to take it
And
back.
you said it yourself, Coop, that you think that not shootouts, but the setup inspired
Niggas
was it
bleed.
niggas
Oh,
bleed?
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's a direct correlation. It's a direct correlation. Go listen to the setup. Go listen to the setup and niggas
Right.
bleed back to back. It's the same story. It's just
Right.
Big made the ending funny where Nas made the ending tragic, but that's who they are as like writers.
Them cats
know
was
what I'm
playing
saying?
tennis. They was volleying back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
The same story.
Yeah.
Man, Big was just skating on those records in such a way.
Yeah.
It's like
was
Brandon
going
Rogers.
flawless.
Yeah, Brandon Rogers with the $10 super chat. Speaking of Ghost, why did the original version of Bulletproof Wallets get sabotaged? The original track list was fire. Didn't get sabotaged. It's just samples didn't clear.
Samples
So
didn't
sad. So sad.
So
So
sad.
sad. That
Man.
look, that's 4 certified classics if the samples on
And I had every
Bulletproof Wallets
last
clear.
one of them.
The watch
That's
and all them
4.
man.
It's the
And I had
watching
every last one of
flowers.
them.
It's the watching flowers that are really the
Yeah.
ones
Oh
like
goodness.
would have set
You
it
know,
over the top.
and Son with Slick Rick.
Slick Rick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my.
This is so these are like those splitting hair moments that people talk about. So like,
yes.
okay, so here's how you need to look at this. Like, the samples not clearing on Bulletproof Wallets. That's like KD's foot on the line against the Bucks when he was with the Nets. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh shit. It's like, no. It's like,
so it was.
The moment
I hate stuff like that, and you talk about it all the time, Coop. The difference between the I Am bootleg, since we was talking about I Am Project Windows, and then the joint that was released on Nostradamus.
That Trackmasters bullshit they did to the machine Myrick beat. Yeah,
it makes a big difference how a sample's cleared or flipped.
They changed the BPMs. They changed the BPMs.
Yes, changed everything. Yep.
Yeah. They changed the way it was looped. The loop was being flipped and dropping and like all that. It still fit.
Another example is Kanye with All Falls Down with the Lauren joint and then having to get Selena Johnson to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's another joint. But his still was out of here regardless. But if you've heard the regular joint with the Lauren sample,
it hits different. It's different when you hear that Lauren sample. It does. It hits different.
Yeah.
CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. Funny thing, Coop, is that the general consensus feels like Fish Scale is a certified classic. So does he have certified 3 classics to the rap community? I don't think most people talk about. People don't talk about Fish Scale the way they talk about Bulletproof and I mean, Iron Man.
It's possible, yeah.
But do we count? Real question, real quick. Do we count Cuban Link for Ghost or do we not?
I don't.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Because he doesn't have an album that's a classic in that chamber for me to be like, oh, Ghost really the author of that whole theme and that thing, and that's been Ray's whole Steve's his whole career.
That's kind of like how you say with Big Boy and Dre, like, you know, Big Boy was like the author of a lot. Okay,
yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
Like Ghost is the soulful guy.
Yes,
he just happens to be a street dude, so he fits with Ray's street ethos.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He balanced Ray out.
Yeah. He balances Ray out, right?
Yeah.
Like Ray not gonna do the soulful shit. Like, how about this? I feel like a record like Rainy Days is not on the purple tape without Ghost. You feel me?
Yo, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah,
that was my favorite record on there at one point. But you're right.
But
that's a Ghost wheelhouse joint.
Right, but most of it is aggressive street shit, which is Ray's wheelhouse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Glacier to Ice Water, Spot Rushers, Wu Gambinos, like that criminology, knowledge God, incarcerated Scarfaces. No, that's Ray's wheelhouse. It is. Like you are in Ray's chamber when you in the purple tape. It's like Ghost is just the best. Like, man, Ghost is 91 Scottie Pippen. He's like, no, he's like, I'm not the best player, but I can shut down the other team's best player. Magic. Like, he's like, no. I'm invaluable. It's like, I'm not the guy.
Scotty that could drop 30 though.
I don't know if he's dropping 30 yet, but he dropping 20, 10, and 10. You know what I'm
saying?
In
that era, he hadn't ascended to who he, ended up being.
He wasn't quite like he's brilliant on the purple tape, but he's not all time great on the purple tape.
He's the blunt force on the purple tape. He's the blunt. He's the necessary blunt force because
he's the force multiplier on the purple tape.
Yes, because Ray's similar to AZ in that regard. I've always felt that Ray and AZ are the opposites of the same coin, where very laid back.
I like that.
You know what I mean? Just very mellow guys.
I think right. I'm glad you brought that up. And so I think Ghost's most important contribution to the purple tape is actually his energy, because I think he's the guy that gets Ray amped up on some of these records. Like, I think Ice Water is the prime example of that. You know what I mean? The way Ghost comes in, it's like, oh no, Ghost amps that record up. Like, oh no, like we gonna go at this one. You know what I'm saying? Check out the rap Kingpin, the Black Jesus. When he started doing that shit, it's like, oh no, that's infectious. As an MC, when somebody come on the track and start rapping the way Ghost raps on some of the songs he leads off on, it makes Ray dig in. Like, you know who it is? Like, Ray is like Mike Tyson in '88. Like on the purple tape, like he hits everything so hard, but Ghost is like the guy that's getting him amped up to hit the bag like that on a lot of those records. Criminology, Ice Water. Yeah.
It's funny you say that, Cool. I know we don't want to get up these tangents, man, because we got some of the super chats, but it's funny you say that because I was listening to a Mobility on my flight.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself?
Hear me out. Immobility is not a bad album. It's not bad,
but it's not good. I've said that for a long time.
It's not a bad album.
I'm not rolling with that one.
The production. It's the production.
It hurts. The production without RZA orchestrating, it hurts. It hurts. Without Ghost's presence, it shows you how much he is needed. Because I felt like Ray didn't have a direction without Ghost. Like you said, Ghost was that corner guy that amp you up.
Yeah.
Ray didn't have that. Because he
was like Mike Tyson losing Customato.
Yes, that punch wasn't there. That punch wasn't as sharp.
I can't shoot Common some bill, but y'all can shoot Ray some bill for a Mobility. That's crazy.
First of all,
absolutely.
Electric Circus doesn't have Live from New Yorker sneakers on it. These are facts.
All right, let me ask you this: not album for album. Which was the biggest disappointing album? Electric Circus coming from Common or a Mobility coming from Ray after the purple tape?
I mean, of course, it's
no. You said I mean, like what? Right. Yes or no? Which one's the most disappointing album?
It's Ray AG.
Thank you.
You know that AG. Immobility doesn't work because you don't.
There's two albums in that class: a Mobility and a Dogfather. That's it. End of the class.
No. Prince of Darkness by Big Daddy Kane.
Oh yes. Then there's that.
I was hoping you wasn't going to say that.
Oh my God.
That hurt me. I ain't gonna lie, Paul. That hurt. Like, that was crazy.
I tried. You know, I tried to listen to that album a couple of years ago. It still hurts. I was like, no. I'm like, cut that shit off. Like, cut that shit off right now.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad.
Shout out to Kane though.
Dogfather's the worst of the three, in my opinion. But anyway,
shout out to Mobility.
Brandon Rogers, no. CJ the Kid, Jermaine Johnson, $4.99 with the super chat. I hate when rappers rap about a bunch of random nothing. Also, I love when Ghost raps about a bunch of random nothing. He makes it sound so good.
Look, y'all know how to feel about Ghost.
Okay,
Ghost he's notorious for that. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so first of all, Ghost is the only person that raps about nothing that it sounds like something.
It's fly.
That's the thing about it. His nothing sounds like something though. It's like, hold on.
Though, man.
It's like he's rapping in hieroglyphics.
I just can't fathom riding a plane, listening to Mobility. Like, yo, this plane could fall the sky, but I'm put on a Mobility.
All the things that I can listen to. All the things I can listen to, I say,
I'm gonna listen to a classic.
Thing a shot again. It's like, no.
I was doing it for a reason. I was listening to it for a reason.
I can't think of any.
I mean, I guess Jesus is the reason for the season, but even Jesus, like, I
don't follow AG, man. He's just doing this because we got on him about this. He's done this all the time.
With you. That's what I'm talking about. All this time spent with you has not been productive for AG. That's all I have to say.
See, this is what Shawn do. Shawn say, yo, the people need to see the real you. But then when I start to, like, you know what I'm saying, give little flashes of who I am, Shawn's like, you know, he act like I'm fronting. He act like you know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't give it to the people, but whatever.
He was saltwater fishing and doing hip hop commentary when I met him, and now he's a whole asshole because
saltwater fishing is crazy.
You like that? Those are West Virginia shots. Sorry. Shout out to West Virginia.
Yo, that's crazy, man.
Hold on, we got to get to these super chats, fellas. We got a bunch, and we got to wrap up. Cam Porter with the $5 super chat. Which album do you think will be better, Snoop and Dre or Nas and Premier? Neither. Next, guys.
Nas and Premier. Stop it, Coop.
Well, that's only because you've heard the crappy songs coming from Missionary.
Not worried about that. I'm not gonna lie.
We're gonna see tonight.
Yeah.
The album already leaked, by the way.
Oh, crazy.
I've heard, and you know what people are saying? Get those titties 4 thumbs down. CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. Ghost said if the OG bulletproof wallets were to have come out, that it would have been better than Supreme, he thinks. Thoughts? Yeah, he also thought he's not rapping that good on Iron Man. So that's what we think. That's what we think about Ghost. Like that's what we think about when Ghost thinks about his own stuff. It's like, well, he thinks that he's not that good on Iron Man. So you can go ahead and take that thought and take those Iron Man thoughts, and we'll just keep on handing him out 5s when he makes product like that. How about that? Kim Porter, Fish Scale is to Ghost what American Gangster is to Jay-Z. I can see some of that.
Yeah. See some of that. It ranks about the same in their catalog.
Yeah. I'm about to say I can see some of that. Shout out to Cam. CJ the Kid with the $10 holla. I'm telling you guys, people do consider Fish Scale up there. They may consider it number 3, but it's considered top 3. I wouldn't lie. If you guys disagree, that's one thing. I don't disagree with that. It's my number 3 too. I just think that people have Bulletproof and Pretty Tony close to Fish Scale, and it's not close to Supreme and Iron Man. That's the thing.
Yeah. Whatever you have at number 3 between any of those albums is respectable.
A separation. Yeah. All right. Any more super chats?
Yes, we got 2 more.
Yep, I see it. Yeah. Ghost 499. Jermaine Johnson. Ghost can make saying supercalifragilisticexpialidocious backwards sound like an ill bar.
Okay. He did. Yes.
Oh my God. We know you're gonna co-sign it.
Of course.
Michael Williams with the $5 super chat. Do you think we're approaching a point where it will become difficult to rank Big over Kendrick? If not, what does Dot have to do to surpass Big?
Nothing. I mean,
there's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do.
What are we talking about?
There's nothing he can do.
Yeah, let's not get crazy.
There's nothing he can do. Like Big for me in the vacuum is the best dude I ever heard. So it's like I'm not like he's the best guy I ever heard rap. Like
we just talked about that "Keep Your Hands High" verse. Like, you know, I love Kendrick. I rock with him, but point to one of those. You know what I'm saying?
So how about this? Think about the verses that he did that were not on his album the year before he died. He has more verse of the year contenders in that 1 year than Kendrick has had in an entire career.
Yeah, Can't Stop the Rain too.
When I say that, that's why I'm saying. Think about the verses the year before.
Can't Stop the Rain. Victory, Keep Your Hands High. Like he was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? The Junior Mafia joints, even though they was 95, crazy.
Be doing bar
Get Money remix.
Doing bar seminars about Big for years.
Yeah, that was a power pack 3 or 4 years. You know what I'm saying? That was
like that. Yeah,
lightning in a bottle.
The best 3 or 4 years a rapper ever rapped. It's just only 3 or 4 years, but as far as rapping goes, ain't nobody rapped better than he rapped while he rapped. Like especially those last 18 months, man,
it was crazy. Even for Pac last 18 months was crazy.
He was leveling up as well.
He was leveling up, man.
Yeah, they were both leveling up, but
Biggs was different.
You felt like Big had just figured it out. Pac had already had it figured out. Pac was just getting better. Pac had been figured it out. Pac had already knew how to go platinum and make the hit records and make classics. Like Pac already figured it out. Pac was just getting better as an MC. Big was starting to do other shit.
The word you used was like comfortable. And you know, and this is a dope tangent, and we, you know what I'm saying, going off on tangents. But one thing I'll say, Big having his leg broken, I think was one of the, ironically, the best things that could ever happen to him. You listen to Ready to Die, how he's attacking the mic on Life After Death, and then those features in that era where he had to sit down and rap in the booth. Everything is like wild, comfortable, and just like, you know what I'm saying. It's not as energetic, but it's still silky smooth or whatever. So
for somebody that were to rap or looks at rap fundamentally using a metronome in terms of rapping, you have to understand some of the styles Big is using on Life After Death is so ahead of its time that it sounds offbeat to you the first time you hear it.
Yeah.
You think he's offbeat. If you like go listen to him on Last Day, I remember the first time I heard him on Last Day, I'm like, he's offbeat. And then I went back and listened. It's like, he's not offbeat. He's ahead of the beat and on top of the beat. I'm like, I don't think I've heard anybody rap on top and inside on the beat at the same time. Like when he breaks it up and says, make you a classic like my first LP. And when he starts flipping it like that, it's like, oh no, it sounds like it's off the first time you hear it. And you realize it's like, oh no, it's not off. He's trying some shit.
He's playing with his flow, yeah.
And it's working. And it's working.
On the Patreon show, I'm going to share my disc record I have for Big that was never released.
All right, so what's the next album that we have on the
play it.
Thank you. Jeezy with the inspiration. 12-12-06.
Shawn is not giving out inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that joint for y'all.
Please don't.
Jesus, man.
What do y'all think about the inspiration by Jeezy?
I don't have anything to say about it, really.
I mean, you really want to know the truth, AG? What are your thoughts about the inspiration by Jeezy?
I still want to battle low with Jadakiss. Jeezy versus Jadakiss. But at any rate, Jeezy had a run, you know what I'm saying, a dope run of albums, the trilogy of, the Thug Motivation, the Inspiration, and the Recession. But I would rank this one last out of those first three. I think Recession is better, and Thug Motivation is evidently a classic. But it got, the Inspiration definitely has some joints on there. That's all I got to say about that.
As far as sophomore albums go, this is not a Mobilarity, The Dogfather, Prince of Darkness. Ooh. But it's not any damn good. All right, this album ain't no goddamn good.
Wow.
Not at all.
There you go, Coop. There you go, Coop.
Not good.
All right, I wouldn't say that.
I don't believe. Maybe it's the Christmas spirit that's taking over me. Bah humbug if it has. But I've been agreeing with Shawn all show. Shawn is right. This album is not.
Look at the Atlanta power making Coop freeze. Yeah. Yeah.
3 in the morning.
Atlanta messing with your Wi-Fi, Coop. They didn't like that.
3 in the morning with Timberland's the only good joint. Rest of it's forgettable. It's not good. Yeah. It's not a good album.
Yeah, Atlanta started messing with Coop's Wi-Fi. They ain't like that.
Yeah.
Can y'all not hear me or see me?
Yeah, you was freezing like crazy, bro. Like,
oh, I don't care. Everybody knows how I feel about Jeezy down here. Like, I'm his biggest supporter and biggest fan. This album ain't no damn good. I call it like I see it. Album ain't no damn good.
Man.
I had Trap or Die and Thug Motivation 101 to go off of before this, and then you gave me this. It's not goddamn good. And then after that, you gave me Trap or Die 2 and The Recession. That's how I know this album ain't no goddamn good.
So you saying if Low ever stopped ducking smoke or the verses that he couldn't pull nothing from this album?
Oh, let it go.
He can pull 3 in the morning, produced by Timbaland, and he can't pull anything else. And even if he pulled that, he might catch the fade.
Yo.
Might catch a couple fades.
I'm just asking questions, man. All right.
96 Nas fade with the line. Fade.
Shawn want me to be myself, then when I'm on myself, it's a problem. I don't understand.
I got to remind myself you go too far.
Shawn is not a positive, motivating force within your life. CJ the Kid with the $20 super chat. At this point, a rapper can drop 20 game-changing 5 mic albums in a row, and people will still put Big over said MC with only 5 years. F that ish. God. CJ the Kid, have you been hanging out with Mad Max? I know you guys are going to shoot at me. Go ahead. Super pause. So immature. LOL.
No.
CJ.
Wow, man.
Don't hang out with Mad Max anymore. All right?
That's not even a fair statement. Andre's what I tell people all the time. Andre 3000 is alive and breathing well, but you could take Big in those 4 or 5 years and he still has more verses than Andre has out there in 2024. Big still has more verses to his catalog. So if Big is still eligible to be in the top, few top 5 or whatever, people put Andre there. I don't see the problem in putting Big there, even though it's a limited catalog. I really don't.
No. More verses and better verses, AG. Not just more, but more and better.
Yo, we got a couple more super chats.
And he died when we were in high school. Nigga, we are old. Our children are in high school.
Thank you, Coop.
Yeah.
We are old. Our children are in high school. He is still out-rap this man. Don't get me started with this shit.
It still resonates.
Mad Max, we slandering Dot. Why does everybody keep talking about Dot when we ain't talked about Dot during this show, like really at all? We slander.
No, that's what Mad Max wants to do.
He's not A+ or Mr. Cheeks. He's not A+ or Mr. Cheeks. Mad Max, crazy, Mad Max, are you from Queens? Mad Max from Queens, Mr. Cheeks and A+, not A+.
Yo, shout out to Mr. Cheeks, man.
Yo, you remember the A+ joint with AZ, like A+1 or something like that?
Yo.
Tired of publication hyping up that bump. Sounded like Urkel with
that might be one of the wildest super chats I've ever read.
Urkel with a wedgie is nasty work, Mad Max. You need to chill out, my G.
Yo, nigga,
this is wow.
Mr. You Cheeks.
Oh
yo,
my God.
No.
Remember that? First of all, Mad Max. No. Stop this right now. Mad Max, we're banning the use of the word cheeks on this show because we can't trust Shawn.
Yo,
we can't.
Yo, man, we gotta reel it in, man.
I see you, Jarv. What up? No. This whole episode's been off the hinge. Let's get to the Purple Haze talk about Cam.
One more.
No more. Please make it stop. No. Make it stop. Chris Doherty, $2 super chat. Coop really tired of K Dot talk. His voice annoys me. I mean, it's not a great rap voice, unless you're talking about my voice. My voice is stellar, and you can kiss my ass if you're talking about my voice. I don't know. Better be talking about K Dot. CJ the Kid. I never seen you so disgusted, AG. Apologize. LOL.
Yeah, man. I'm glad y'all seen this guy.
It's been wild today. Let's get the Purple Haze and let's get to the camp.
One more before Purple Haze, and just real quick. You forgot the Infamy album came out. Queens Get the Money.
I didn't forget. I was trying to skip over it because it's not any good either. But keep going.
Is good.
It's not good.
You're right. Burn is good.
Burn is good, but that's it.
You know what I'm saying?
And Handcuffs. I like Handcuffs, but have it.
I don't like that song. I hate that song with a passion. No.
Yeah. No, I mean, Crawling it fell flat.
Ooh, there's something. Getaway. That's the wrong Getaway.
Getaway is hard. Getaway is hard.
Getaway is dope. The Learning, Burn is a classic. That's it. When I heard The Learning, I was like, it's almost over because I felt like Havoc and Noid just destroyed Burn. And I have to be honest with you, the biggest disappointment for me about Prodigy and his career is his verse on Burn.
The whole album, Havoc out-rap P on the whole album. If you're being real,
because the album ain't any good. I'm talking about the last classic song that they made.
Havoc's whole point. P was distracted. This
was the downfall.
Havoc is crazy on Burn. Niggas want to ride by the crib all slow. Clap, motherfucker, want a real rap show. No,
but the hook was the highlight. Shout out to Vita for the hook. The hook was the highlight.
Yeah, I think Noid is the highlight of Burn. Actually, I think Noid is the highlight.
You know what? I'm gonna nominate Noid for the next Discord dialogues, man, because Noid don't get enough credit out here.
That verse on Burn, that's a bar seminar. Let me tell you how it's going down. It's on now. Niggas used to love me, now they can't forget me now. I'm not saying.
Noid went crazy on the Free Agents double CD. Remember the Free Agents double CD?
Yes.
Yeah,
Noid got bar work. Noid bar work is high level. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely needs flowers. He definitely needs flowers. Shout out to Noid.
Queens MC Supreme, you know what I'm saying? Now, Queens New York Mets signing Juan. Oh no! You gotta suck at that. I mean, your team sucks. Juan Soto not gonna make it better. Should stick the MC in. Don't worry. I'm gonna post a little viral vibe about that tomorrow. Team sucking, not going to the World Series. Couldn't beat the Dodgers. Couldn't beat the Yankees Yankees couldn't beat the Dodgers with Juan Soto. Ain't no New York teams winning shit, Shawn. But anyway, another conversation for another day.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
You like how I did that? You like how I snuck that in, don't you? Purple Haze by Cam.
That is
Purple
wild.
Haze by Cam, fellas. Last classic album discussion. Then we need to talk about this Cam 50 interview, which I really actually thoroughly enjoyed. highlights Purple Haze for me are Killer Cam and Get 'Em Girls. Those were instant Killer Cam classics for me. I
Down
thought
and
this
out.
was a really dope project. Megahertz did a lot of work on this album, if memory serves.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I love this album, but I hollered at one of my homies because his favorite rapper is Cam. He don't think Cam the best of all time, but his favorite is Cam. So I asked him, for this segment around this era, the Rockefeller days, which album did he hold higher, Purple Haze or Come Home With Me? And he said that he liked Purple Haze much better because it's quintessential Cam versus Come Home With Me. You could tell it was more of a concerted effort to integrate him into the rock sound and everything was going on with them around that time. But Purple Haze is more of a Cam album. And then I kind of feel what he was talking about.
He's right, and the beats are better, but the songs aren't better. The beats are better and he's better, but the songs aren't better.
The discussion on here is great. And I love Purple Haze. You got to think about it. Purple Haze was actually written in 2001. It was written around Come Home. He just didn't release it until a couple of years later because remember, Purple Haze, he actually put Purple Haze on hold so the Dipset movement can get off because it came out in Dipset came out in 03.
That is right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you are right.
When he said Poughkeepsie to Pepperdine, I was sold on Get 'Em Girls. When he said Poughkeepsie to Pepperdine, I was like, I'm in. I was like, I'm sold. I was like, he put Poughkeepsie and Pepperdine in a bar. I was like, that is glorious bar work. I don't care what the fuck he's talking about at this point. I'm in.
Cam is another one who don't be talking about nothing sometimes, but it sounds fly as hell.
I was rocking pink polos, and you can ask people about me. I was rocking pink polos before it was a thing with Cam. He definitely upped my ante some. When I broke my pink polos back out, they're like, you're trying to be like Cam. I was like, Coop's been doing this. I keep computers puting. Y'all get shot at. That's homie, I do the shoot. I was down 40. Now I'm up 50, buck quickly. Who can fuck with me? Killer. Yeah.
Cam swaggy, man. Cam one of the best. All style points.
Charisma and style points on Purple Haze is almost ODB level on Purple Haze, okay? ODB level style points on Purple Haze.
Went crazy. People confuse that computers computing like as if that was some corny shit. But Purple Haze, Killer went crazy on Purple Haze.
He did.
And even Jewel set the album off after Killer went to the intro, and then he ended the intro with Next Up Santana, and Jewel's came in right after that joint. And again, Jewel's was. I want to say this real quick, so we can move into the Cam and 50 point, because this bothers me a lot. Because New York had a chance to wrap the arms around Jewel's. Jewel's should have been the transition for New York hip hop during that era, because Jewel's was the one.
He messed that up.
He did. But they was
self-inflicted.
They were beefing with so many people at the wrong time. I mean, True Life was beating them up and everything. Shout out to True Life. True Life was on Jim Jones' head, man. And for me, Queens, we were like, yo, we don't mess with them guys like that, straight up, because of Bravehearts and Nas and Dipset issues and things of that nature. So it was like, yo, we're not messing with them Harlem cats, man. They're corny, mad corny. But at the same time, they were a big piece to the movement, because in 03, when Dipset came out, Dipset really been planting that flag for New York at that time, along with 50 and G Unit. So, again, Jewel's had that opportunity. If he would have get that run going off with Wayne, that would have been a transitional moment for New York hip hop. And we lost that moment, man, because the South was clicking up when New York was at odds. We were at odds so heavy. Every barrel was beefing. No rappers wanted to collaborate. And it was clear.
You want to know what's crazy about that when you're saying all that? The main cats that used to get played down here was Dipset, right?
I believe it.
Because this was the swag era, and Cam had the most swag of all the New York rappers. That includes 50. It's like more cats down here fucked with Cam.
Yes.
Like on a street level than fucked with 50. They fucked with 50 sound vocally, but as far as like the street dudes down here, it's like it was Cam who they gravitated towards. Range looked like Laffy Taffy. It's like, oh no, that's how they talk down here.
Yeah. That's true. You're right, Coop.
Yeah, right. Jewel dropped the ball, but you could say the same thing for Lloyd Banks too around that era.
I don't think Lloyd had the panache in Calvin Candy's voice and the panache that Jules had, man. Jules
But
had
he was a platinum artist. They were supposed to be the next up in that era. You know what I'm saying? And
that because of G Unit. That G
they
Unit.
just squandered it.
Everyone was platinum out of G Unit off of that 50 Cent run. Everybody, they were sneezing. Hell, what the thoughts of a predicate felon or whatever from Yayo. It went what gold? I think it went close to platinum.
It went close to platinum. To me, that was the best out of all the G Unit members outside of 50.
Damn, Coop. The dog just took Coop phone. His dog was falling out tonight. The Coop dog just attacked him. Yo, we got some super chat. Damn, Coop, you good? The dog took your phone?
Yo, no, she got a car. Look, she got a car now. She don't know me.
Who's that?
Yeah. Huh?
Who's that? Your daughter?
Yeah, she don't know me no more. She got.
Oh, he said your dog. You thought he said your daughter.
Yeah. Dog took the phone from you.
Oh man, punk ass dog. Look here, me and this dog. I'm gonna start this. These are first world. These are first world problems. So I'm gonna be thankful that I'm dealing with these first world problems. You know what I mean?
Yo, Mad Max is bugging, man. We got some super chats.
No. I see him. I see him. Let's go and get to these. Purple Haze better than Ye albums. You gas. Whoa.
This is crazy.
Whoa.
Oh,
Mad Max. Have you been drinking moonshine, corn liquor?
I think Mad Max
the hard stuff. Same productions level, better rap.
Where's Mad Max from?
CJ the Kid. If Snoop were to die in 95, he would be top 5 or 10.
Dude, CJ, man.
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
No.
That's heavy. I have Snoop high, but no.
That's
Mad
dark,
Max,
but nah.
CJ the Kid, I'm a little worried. It's like, that's not like you to talk like that. Have you been hanging out with Mad Max?
This is what I deal with CJ, man. This is what I deal with CJ. CJ has a dark.
Is this what you deal with in Discord?
The CJ, yeah.
This is why I'm out. It's a mental health choice by me.
Thankfully for the hip hop community, Snoop is alive and well, and his album drops at midnight tonight. Missionary.
Yeah.
Free ad Snoop there.
Despite what CJ says.
Right. This album sound like some mid and not some za. That's the real problem Snoop had lately. Mad Max with the $9.99 super chat. CJ the Kid, do not listen to anything Mad Max says moving forward. Jewels was on that Jawbreakers. We're not reading any more of the super chats. We can't.
Yo.
We're out. Mad Max, we're out.
Mad Max must be from Astoria, man.
We're not.
Yo.
You started off the super chat with Jawbreaker.
That's crazy.
All these things we have going on.
That is crazy.
All these things we have going on. And he was more class clownish than Cam. He was a fad rapper. I like Jewels, but come on, he was preschool rhyming. It's very disrespectful.
He underachieved, man. Dipset. Yeah,
hold on. Wayne pulled a lot of his style from that time from Jewels. So what was Wayne doing? If that's the case,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Jewels. Dipset.
Matter of fact, they were supposed to do an album.
It was. I can't feel my face.
I can't feel my face.
Yeah. They both dropped the.
I feel like that's what Mad Max is saying right now.
Right? Get out of my head, AG. I'm like, that's probably what Mad Max in that fucking 8-ball sitting on the table while you watching the show. Mad Max.
Tony Montana.
Mad Max. Take it from somebody. Mad Max, take it from somebody that has lived it. Strippers and cocaine is not the way to go, Mad Max. There are other ways to resolve these issues.
Okay, so 50 and Cam.
Sorry, did I say too much? I say too much.
Cam interviewed 50 Cent.
Okay.
Yo.
I mean, it fixed some of the issues, but it didn't.
No, it does not. No, it doesn't.
The thoughts abused of Tom Cooper are not that of hip hop talks.
I can't do this, man. I can't do this anymore. I gotta
Cam and 50.
It's like 12 days of Christmas left. Nigga, get 9 Lords of Leaping and fucking 10 ladies dancing and fucking make the shit happen. 5 golden rings, nigga.
This dude said last month about the kids. Like Coop said he for the kids. Now he tell the kids to do cocaine to go to the strip club.
No.
So 50 and Cam.
So hopefully you don't have to go through that. I'm just saying it wasn't all bad.
Oh, it was all bad.
It's mostly bad. It's mostly bad now that I'm thinking about it.
Right, AG? Nothing good coming out.
I have nothing. I'm trying to talk about 50 and Cam. Like,
Yeah, let's get to the 50 and Cam interview. So I thought Cam did a great interview with 50. 50 is one of our. I try to find somebody to compare him to in terms of an interview, but he might be hip hop's best interview, guys. What do you think?
Without question.
50 is 50's hip hop's best interview, isn't he?
Funny, very intellectual. You know what I mean? Like
Business
charismatic,
savvy, insightful,
everything.
unfiltered, no holds bar. So I'm going to tell you what I realized the problem with him and Jay was. Jay was actually the best interview until 50 came along. And that's some of the problem. He didn't steal some of his shine, like musically and record-wise, because Jay don't have 2 diamond albums. 50 does.
I think Jay kind of awkward at interviews, though. I mean, not in a bad way. He has that dry humor, and you know what I mean, kind of
condescending. I'm bigger than the interview itself.
He'll get intellectual sometimes. But I think 50 is a better interview, though.
No, what I'm asking you to do is see, y'all are thinking about modern day Jay. I need you to think about 96 to 2003 Jay. That guy gave a different interview. He did.
Yeah. I mean, for that era, Jay was probably the best interview.
That's what I'm saying. Until 50 came along, Jay was actually the best interview to have.
Yeah.
So
but 50 checks every box on an interview, though. He's very good.
So even when 50 was talking about Jay, I realized it's like, hey, you want to know it? It's like, this guy is just as charismatic as Jay and a little bit more crazy and off the hinge and way more fun to fucking talk to. And I realized something. See, Jay is smart. Jay sees that shit too, and that's why Jay don't like 50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And another thing too,
rap shit.
50 can appeal to a wider audience. Even if you look at the music that 50 makes and you listen to his interviews, he can go have a great conversation with like you know what I'm saying, I don't know, Martha Stewart or whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like, for the white, you know what I'm saying, mainstream audience, and it'd be very, palatable for them, despite the music that he makes.
You know, some cold shit that he said in this interview was when he talked about, he was like, my fans got money now. And I'm thinking to myself, when he said that, I'm like, nigga, you went diamond 20 years ago, talking about my fans got money now.
Yeah.
Think about the business mind and how that works. He was like, my fan base was in the club. He's like, now my fan base is in their 40s. He's like, they have become successful. But he is talking about, and here's what people are missing. It's his fan base is different.
Mm-hmm.
His first single is in the club. He don't just got guys like me and you. He got girls in London.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Dudes in Paris. You get what I'm saying? So when he is talking about his fan base being successful, that's what people are talking about when they talking about a hit record will change your life. He has 2 diamond albums, but he has a diamond single in the club.
Yes.
It was everywhere.
Different fan base.
It was everywhere.
Different fan base when you make that kind of hit record. And not to be funny, that's why when he's saying on Piggy Bank, that nigga Fat Joe thought Lean Back was in the club. My shit sold 11 mil. Shit was no, he's speaking to, it's like, oh no, I got fans for life off this record that I can go and tour off of because I didn't make a record. I made the record that year.
That's a travel record, man.
Yeah.
That's the record that year. That's the record that year. That is a hip hop 50 record. Yeah. That's one of the 50 best rap records ever.
Easily.
The impact of it is just too monstrous. How many diamond rap singles do we have that are actual verifiable rap songs, guys? Get what I'm saying?
Right.
No, you're right. Right.
Yeah, so it's like when he's talking and I'm hearing all of these things, I'm like, this guy's a genius.
Yeah.
He doesn't get enough credit. Like, we call Nas a genius. We call Jay a genius. We call Dre a genius. No, like he in that box, guys. Like like too often, I think people try to place him outside of that box because he's so unfiltered, but he is a genius. And like when he is talking, it is I don't take notes on too many interviews anymore, guys. It's the first time I've taken notes on an interview in a long time. It's like because the stuff that he was saying, I was like, I need to write that shit down.
Yeah. There you go, Shawn. He drops jewels. You know what I love about 50 interviews, he always makes outstanding points, but he'll frame it to you in a question. Like, you see what I see, right? Like, you know what I mean? That's the way he'll like, you know, frame what he's talking to you about. And he always makes crazy good points. But you know, like Coop was saying, the business talk. I love to see how the rappers from our generations are in their lives after rap, you know, and the business talk that 50 and Cam were having, because Cam's a businessman now as well, and he done, you know, revamped himself. And the discussions that they were having, it was really good to see, and we should be taking notes, Coop. And they were their business acumen was just really on display in that interview. But the biggest takeaway for me was it's good to see them because they were clowning about like when they were into it with each other and they were beefing, and how, you know, Cam was talking about how 50 moved during the beef and all that, and they was laughing about it. It's good to see stuff like this years later, them just chopping it up and laughing about everything that happened back then. So
no, I love it. And so this is what I mean. People need to understand this. Cameron and 50 are two of our more astute businessmen.
Yeah,
so to
Cam
have
is
them,
good businessman.
Cam doesn't get enough credit for his astute business.
Yeah, if you don't know what type of businessman is, listen to him tell the story of how the verses with the locks came about. Listen to that story.
The verses with the locks in the garden, all that happened because of Cam. Cam is the one that
he got everybody paid.
Cam made sure everybody got money. Cam made sure everybody ate.
Yep.
So sometimes when you're dealing with these guys that are charismatic, that have had past, they have, you know, done nefarious things and been engaged in legal activities. They rap, which people sometimes don't take seriously as a sport. But to hear these men talk business, talk branding, talk marketing, talk equity, even talking about, like, one of the biggest things Cam gave 50 props for is what he started off with. He's like, how the fuck did you get $15 million for a residency in Vegas for 6 shows? Think about that. Do the math of 6 divided into 15. 50 getting 2.3 mil a show in Vegas on a residency. Cam is looking at those numbers and it's like 2.3 mil a show. He's like, that's absurd for a nigga who rap.
Right.
And so he wants 50 to explain to everybody business wise, how did you get to the point of being able to make these things happen? These are the things we need to be taking notes on. We don't need to be taking, like, you may or may not make in the club, but as an artist, I found this conversation between the two of them, because I don't even think it was an interview. It was a conversation between the two of them. I found it to be so motivational and inspirational, Shawn. When 50 said consistency is the key to success, it put a battery in my back a little bit. I was like, yep. I was like, because you got to keep going and keep being consistently good to great at it, and do it all the time, and you know, and put in the work and pay your dues and make the right connections and make the right resources and make the right decisions. But you have to be consistent. Consistency is the key to success. They said so many things during that conversation that I feel like, just as like, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a businessman, like, forget the rap, forget the music. Like, if you just aspire to be great at whatever it is, this was a super enjoyable conversation. And I love 50's honesty. I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. Jay's a fucking hater. And 50 see, this is where I've been hanging around Shawn too much too. And 50 is really just speaking about it. And this is what I mean about 50 being a genius as a businessman, is because 50 knows that he has to still run in so many circles where Jay is going to be around. He won't just come out and call him a fucking hater like I will. He'll just show you. He'll show you the hater brick road. You know what I'm saying? He's like, look at the hater brick road. He's like, look at the hater brick road this nigga be paving.
Yo, like, when you refer to somebody as old boy, you know it's some shade about to come. Like, yeah, old boy.
Old boy.
Absolutely.
Hold on. First of all, hold on. AG, a nigga from Southside Jamaica, Queens, saying old boy. It's bad.
Yo, AG crazy. Because what I be telling you, like, old boy, and
old boy.
Yeah, and then Cam, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you know, you know. And Cam was like, for those who don't know, he's talking about Jay-Z.
And Cam knew immediately who he was talking about.
Right.
Because Cam's an astute businessman too. He talking about this nigga Jay. I was with Rockefeller. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because think about this. 50 said something during the interview, and he was actually talking about Cam. He's like, I've talked to people that have done business with him, and I've heard.
Right.
But that was the funny.
I'm like the nigga you talking to right now that told you stuff. What are you talking about?
But that's the funny part of the dichotomy, because they used to be enemies, but now they cool, but they still got somewhat of a common enemy in a way. So it's like, they can clown about it.
Yeah. Hey, he didn't make a lot of friends to get to where he got.
That's true.
No, but he also didn't shit on people to get to where he got neither, to be honest, because if you listen to what he really said, he asked a lot of questions when he's actually doing business. And that's one of the things you have to always understand. You can't jump to the first situation that looks good. And once again, shout out to 50. My team, I don't want to go into details of what I do for a living or whatever, but my team, my Louisiana team,
guys.
Yeah, I got my team.
He's like Tommy from Martin. He's the new Tommy from Martin. We've been trying to figure out. We've been trying to figure out for 6 months. We've been trying to figure out for 6 months what the fuck Shawn do. We don't know.
That's a great thing.
I'm hiring a private investigator.
That's a great thing. That's a great. I'm not taking any resumes, but we did some site surveying over in Shreveport. Because when he did that studio thing over there, that whole land over there was bad. It was really bad land over there, and he took that and flipped it. And a lot of people in Shreveport and Alexandria, Louisiana, shout out to the team over there, West Monroe, all of that. That's casino area as well. So there's a lot of money that was just sitting, and it's on a border getting into Texas, and there's a lot of old money that was just sitting there, and no one wanted that property. And
so hold on, Shawn.
Go ahead. What's that?
No. Finish that thought. Hold on. Finish that thought.
Because we were looking at that property like somebody need to take that. When we heard that he put in the licenses and everything, and we knew how it was going to change the economy over there, we started having some conversations around how it's going to impact the businesses over there. And just that quick, because 50 went over there, the businesses in that entire northern part of Louisiana, it boomed over 400 basis points within 2 weeks, just because he made a surge over there. And he got it for dirt cheap. Business move.
So this is what I mean when I say that there are so many jewels in this interview. First of all, I love that you're breaking down, because all jokes aside, Shawn does have a real job, guys. I do know what Shawn actually does. That is just a joke. Because you know how we do. They be like, this nigga Coop called Shawn out last night. This nigga Shawn is unemployed. This nigga Shawn unemployed. Like that. But this is what I mean. So if you're a businessman, and this is what I mean, there are jewels. When Cam asked him why he chose Shreveport, the first thing he said, it was available.
Yes.
As in ready to go. As in you're talking about somebody with enough money to build something from scratch. And he took what was available.
Bingo.
Are we paying attention as young black entrepreneurs, or just black? We're just paying attention to people.
But shout out to Cam for asking that as a question, knowing the right questions to ask.
That's what I mean about astute businessmen talking to astute businessmen. These guys might be rappers. This was an astute business conversation between two highly intelligent, astute businessmen who just so happen to be great rappers. Yep. They just so happen to be great rappers. That was a business conversation. When Cam is asking him that question, he is feeding that jewel to. He is feeding the jewel to him for 50 to feed a jewel back. This is the high level business conversation and dialogue that is being had in plain sight in front of your face. This is one of those moments where we, instead of talking, like, we can laugh and we can joke, but we do need to highlight the business acumen of these men in times like this and be like, no, you want to learn something about business, you should actually go watch this 50 and Cam interview. You will learn something. I'm 43 years old. I took notes from this interview because I was like, consistency is the key to success. I'm like, oh, you do need to run it like this. I'm like, $2.3 million for 6 days. I'm like, what is this nigga doing in Vegas? Like, how is he writing some of this stuff off? You know what I mean? He in and out because some of the shows fall this year and next year. So tax-wise, he has split it up. Let's talk about that business-wise, what that means, because what he has done is like, oh, is it $15 million? Yeah, but it's essentially 7.5 one year and 7.5 another year. He has broken it up tax-wise. He's a genius.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing, Coop. Like you said, we should be talking about that, which we are. But, you know, other places will take the viral clip. This is what Cam and 50 think about the Drake and Kendrick beef. Right. So what? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not the thing to pull from that interview.
I don't really care what them niggas think about the Drake and Kendrick beef.
Right, but that's what will get pulled from the interview. That nobody cares about the meat and potatoes of it.
Right, but that's why we different. You know, you guys heard of Duck Dynasty, right? You ever heard of Duck Dynasty? That show.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So, I don't know. If you guys
I see a lot of that.
Like that. But Duck Dynasty has.
Virginia, unfortunately.
Of course, I know West Virginia has it. Duck Dynasty has their headquarters adjacent to its 50 studio. It's like really like 50 miles apart from one another. And one of my guys who work in the finance area, he's like, yo, man, we got to talk to them because they're about to see an uplift as well because of the traffic that's coming in. So he's supplying even established brands like Duck Dynasty, who's still selling duck call shirts and duck call and all that stuff over there. And they saw an increase of uplift as well. So what they say, the old saying is all of the, when the tide rises, all the shit rises or whatever. That's what he did just by coming into the market, having a concert and taking care of the people. Everybody thrived over there. So shout out to 50. Please get the money.
Yeah. But the interview was top tier. Like I said, former rivals having that conversation, still sharp and still. And what's our quote we like from Ultron, Shawn? Keep your friends rich and your enemies rich, and then you can tell which is which. You know what I'm saying? It seems like 50 lives by that code, don't it?
Got to, man. Got to.
Yeah.
I mean, I even like, and real quick, and we can slide to the to the Doechii Tiny Desk. I like how he talked about very briefly and very sincerely. He's like, well, I've been talking shit about this nigga Puff because we're in competition in the spirit business. But as far as all that other stuff goes, did you hear what he said?
Yep.
Yeah, people need to be.
And that's
what I'm talking about. It's like, listen to what this man is actually saying. He's like, now that we done joking on Twitter, he's like, yo, but for real, he's like, nigga kind of put himself in position for that to happen. I don't play that type of shit or anything next. So.
Yeah. I'm moved away from it. Like I pushed away from it. Yeah.
And he ain't even try to talk about it too heavy. He's like, no, they're not about to round up and gang up on me next. But he did speak to the fact that he was like, I think him. Listen, when he's saying, oh no, they treated me differently when I owned the shit. When he said that, I was like, and there it go. That was the jewel where he's letting you know it's like, no, it's different for us. I have to move different now with them because now I own stuff. And now because I own stuff, I'm actually a threat to their bottom line. That's why he kept bringing up the $3 billion. He's like, no. He's like, guys like me and Puff and Jay, we're viable threats to their bottom line. They'll do anything to us is what he is saying.
Yep. Another one off the board.
So if you did anything, what he's saying is like, oh, no. He's like, when Puff started affecting a $3 billion business, those people that are involved with that $3 billion business is like, hey, because they've been watching this guy dancing in the videos this whole time. He started affecting their $3 billion business, and that's when those people be like, hold on, it's like, what he got going on?
Yeah, we gonna blow the whistle on you.
It's funny. I have some political lobbyist friends, and I just happened to went to school with somebody that works at the FBI. My wife knows somebody that works at the CIA. You see how this shit start, and that's how this shit started happening. Same thing with Bill Cosby. Didn't nobody give no fuck about Bill Cosby putting no pills in this shit, which he been doing since the 60s. So that motherfucker tried to buy a network. When he tried to buy a network.
Yeah, but you can't be a nasty nigga out there doing that wild shit, knowing that, you can't.
I'm not excusing the wild shit. I'm not excusing the wild shit. Bill Cosby and Puff need to understand that's for Rick James. That's not for you.
Right.
Still, rest in peace, Rick.
Yeah, the legend.
Rick James, it's not for you. Rick will tell you it's like a pimp a bitch real quick. Rick will tell you. Not for you.
Virginia back in the 80s, though.
But all just terrible. But all jokes aside, this is the plight of being super successful and being black in America, and that's why I like how 50's talking, and that's what people really need to pay attention to. It's like you have to be very, very careful what you ask for, and you have to kind of stay in the clear. You know?
Yeah, because he's giving a cautionary tale with it, and you know he does that veiled in. That's why he's a great interview. He does it veiled in comedy, you know, inspirational business talk, and all the. But like 50 man on the interview checks every box, man.
He does.
Yeah, great interview. I want to tell people it's the holidays. Support black business. Trio Gold Shop. Go to triogoldshop.com. I got me a little Franco, a little Cuban for my man. We're supporting it here on Hip Hop Talks.
We'll put the link in the comment section of the video because people were asking for that last time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm about to throw the link up in there. We're about to probably shoot like a little ad in the video that we're gonna post up soon. I just didn't have time this week, but I wanted to make sure we support black business, especially during the holidays. I actually got like a 70% off sale going on online. I don't know because I already got my jewels. All right. For all of you New York Met fans, for all the New York Met fans in New York, you should go get you some jewelry on triogoldshop.com because you guys won't be wearing any jewelry anytime soon, any goddamn way, even though you just spent almost $1 billion on a nigga that's not about to win you anything. So since you're not going to win any rings, definitely not winning any rings in the Braves division, he's not even the best player in the division. We have best player. That's Ronald Acuna Jr. Ronald Acuna Jr. has something that he doesn't have. That's called an MVP award. But
cool.
For all of you queens, get the money because you won't be getting no rings. You can get some gold from triogoldshop.com because you won't be getting any championship rings. Do we have any super chats?
Yes,
Shawn?
we do. Yes.
Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would like to get to these super chats. Definitely not going back to that jawbreaker thing. CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. You guys feel bad for Jules and Banks, but J Hood was the next young one out of D Block with more info out. They never gave him a chance to drop. J Hood's actually from North Carolina, and J Hood never really proved himself to be a song maker enough, so I don't know how fair that is to the other guys.
Right. Just verses.
Great
point. If I'm not mistaken, J Hood might be from Fayetteville, where Cole is from. He might be from the Nam because I feel like he came from the military base. Yeah, he's from the Nam, if I'm not mistaken, originally. I don't know how you end up from the Nam in Yonkers. I don't know how that works exactly. CJ the Kid with the $10 super chat. Nah, it's not Mad Max. I'm just tired of being so political correct with all these opinions, so I'm just voicing how I feel after letting these opinions slide like I agree with them. Still all love. Look at CJ the Kid coming into his own. CJ the Kid, you two have been hanging around with Shawn too damn much. Shawn, you're a bad influence. CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. Also, that Snoop super chat was a question, not a statement. You read that wrong. Whoa, CJ. You have been hanging out with Mad Max.
There you go, CJ.
That's it for me, guys. Too much money for me tonight.
Hey, yo, we appreciate the money, though.
Yeah.
Shout out to CJ, man.
Yeah, we gotta do something for CJ.
Yeah, CJ dope, man. CJ stay active in the Discord, man. Shout out to CJ.
I do want all of our top super chatters to know we are currently coming up with a program and idea or something of sorts to thank you for for the people that have really supported us this year. That is something that we have talked about behind the scenes and are working on. You know, it's not all bah humbug over here at Hip Hop Talks, just with Shawn. Okay. So
I'm sending
we're gonna slide
a sticky note. Someone autograph a sticky note.
Autograph sticky note is nasty work. Let's go to Doechii Tiny Desk, fellas.
Hey, yo, you know what though? Nah, this is a moment. You know what this nigga Shawn did? You know what I'm saying? He was looked out.
When the sentence starts off, do you know what this nigga did? Like,
you know what I did? I just remember that, Shawn, because you said it, because you know what I'm saying, he did look out. He sent me some of the, you know what I'm saying, 50th anniversary, the Hennessy, like, you know what I'm saying, last year, you know what I'm saying, because I was like, yo, I need one of them bottles. They was sold out everywhere. He sent me a bottle, you know what I'm saying, and a Woo hat, you know what I'm saying, which I appreciate it. That's my dog. But it was a sticky note in the package that said, to my biggest fan, signed Shawn.
I appreciate my fan. And cool. I got one for you too. Actually, I can't ship them. I got one for you too, Coop. This is the Nas 50th.
Yeah. Yeah, he sent me that about a year ago, man, with the you know what I'm saying, with his autograph on a sticky note.
With your autograph.
Yeah, it said that to
With
your
your
biggest
autograph?
fan. Like he called me his biggest fan.
Yeah.
Is that a Hennessy parody?
No, this is the Nas Hennessy 50th
BSOP.
signed and everything. I got one for you too.
A signed one?
Yeah, I can't mail it.
What did I do? What I want to know what I did to be deserving of such an honor, Shawn.
Absolutely nothing. But
right. Speaking of nothing, don't want anything from you. You can keep your bottle with your crappy signature.
And I got something else for y'all. I got to send it though, but I'll
crappy bottle with your crappy signature. All right.
And this is not an ad. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is not an ad, so don't demonetize it.
It's not an ad, so no monetize off of that.
Yeah.
Limited edition.
But that just triggered the story. Like when you said autograph a sticky note, I was like, this dude had the gall to send me an autograph sticky note.
Yeah,
crazy.
Is the Hennessy bottle worth some money online, like with or without your signature? I know the signature might inflate the price.
Hey, Shawn, don't send him nothing. Coop gonna hawk it for some money. He gonna hawk them chains. He gonna hawk the bottle. He gonna give it everything for nah. Don't send Coop nothing.
I can't front. Almost sold one of these chains today. Can't even lie.
Yo, Coop selling the chains.
Fuck, I don't even wear jewels like that anymore. He's like, yo, Coop, how much for the chain? I was like, yo, I paid the money.
See how you do?
I'm like, give me 2 racks. He's like, I'm not giving you 2 racks right now. I'm like, don't ask for the fucking chain then.
Oh, you just did the ad. Yo, man, it's AG's fault.
Everything.
How is it my fault?
Everything is for sale. Ask these hoes in Atlanta.
Yo, Coop selling chains to get hoes in Atlanta is crazy though.
Coop opened up his jacket. He got 22 more. He's like, got the watches.
Well, for coming to America, it's like got the new blow dryer. Check it out.
Yo, we gotta go to the next topic.
We gotta get out of here. Doechii Tiny Desk, guys. What did you think about the Doechii Tiny Desk?
Yo, y'all handle that. I'm about to go in the chat.
One thing I'll say about Doechii, man, she's a bona fide star. She is a star.
I'm glad you said that.
She is a star. I enjoyed the Tiny Desk. If you haven't tapped into it, tap into it because she put out a really dope album this year, but I didn't really know she had that much star power until I seen this Tiny Desk performance. She has a lot.
I didn't either. AG, this was one of those things I realized. First of all, I can hear the Nicki and the Kendrick influence.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And if you're gonna pick from the best. And stylistically didn't feel like she missed a beat. And those are 2 people stylistically in terms of being able to emulate and copy and pattern yourself after. Like that alone is hard to do. And I'm with you, AG. Like she's a star. This is one of those things that made me more excited about what she has next than what I just heard. And what I just heard, I thought was one of the best 5 rap albums I've heard this year, maybe. Definitely top 10.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And before we went on live, they were doing the TDE Christmas, fundraiser benefit concert in Watts. And I'm going to go back and check out a stream of it because I did want to see her set, because I was already a fan from this new album, but the Tiny Desk really solidified it for me. Like, you know what I mean? Because being a great artist in and of itself is one thing, but being able to translate that in a performance is, takes you to the next level. She got all the things that make a great artist, and I think she's going to, definitely go places.
I agree, man. I was super impressed. Was super entertained.
Mm-hmm.
She's super talented. She's going places. She is so versatile, like a Kendrick, that it makes me excited about what she is going to do next, like a Kendrick. I'll never forget, like the Kendrick moment for me where I became a fan. I woke up one morning and I was getting out the shower. And my ex-wife, my daughter's mother, literally is coming and grabbing me out the shower in the morning. Knowing I like it quiet in the morning, AG. I don't like to talk. I don't like to do anything. She's yelling my name. She's like, Armand. She's like, you got to get out of here. She's like, you got to hear this. I'm running out the shop. I'm like, what the fuck is this? She's like, it's this new Kendrick. And I'm like, I'm listening to it, and it's She Needs Me by Kendrick Lamar on MTV Jams. And I remember saying to myself, this guy can do anything, and I'm excited about whatever it is that he's about to do next. I got that feeling again when I watched this Tiny Desk. It was the same feeling when my ex-wife pulled me out the shower to see the She Needs Me video for the first time. Because I hadn't heard the record. And it was like one of those things I was like, oh man, I was like, man, this guy can do everything, because that was like, She Needs Me is the theme of love songs that he has used ever since. Like the song Love, I can go to the song Love on Damn and I can hear the She Needs Me in it. And that's that do everything that I'm talking about, where it's like, oh no, people are looking at the song Love and Royalty with Rihanna like, oh no. He been known how to do that. Right,
yeah. And here's the crazy part, it's coming from the, out of the same camp, That's the wild part.
That's why I'm using the Kendrick analysis and comparison as well. It's not only appropriate, but it's also within the camp, so I can see where some of the inspiration is coming
I just thought about this, Coop, real quick. Do you think that, we talked about Dreamville earlier, and then, we're talking about TDE now, and you look at like them with SZA and stuff. Is that the last two great places that had artist development?
Actual A&R work that I know of, yes. And also, too, you can see what Top saw in Doechii. He saw Kendrick.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, oh no, this is like seeing Dot again.
Yep.
She's not gonna be Dot. That's
right, right.
That's the highest level. But I see what he sees, and she's gonna be a star in this game and a force to be reckoned with.
Major. She's very exciting to watch. Like, if you could think of her work.
I'm excited about what she was going to do next, because she has the agility, much like Kendrick, to take it really where she chooses to take it. Yeah.
Thanks. If y'all haven't seen it, tap into that.
Let's see if she has a Bad Girl Mad City for Florida, like tucked in somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Is Shawn going back, or are we actually going to have a strong finish to our show, since he's not going
to? Before we get into the, there you go. I was going to say,
I'm putting links out there. That's all. Y'all handle your business. I'll be back.
Before we shift into the main topic, the main subject topic, since we was talking about Kendrick, while we wait on Shawn, we can slide to the you brought up Kendrick. I want to know, where the NFL stands on everything, or are they Switzerland in the whole beef? Because it looked like they were siding with Kendrick with announcing him to perform the Super Bowl, but we found out, a couple of days ago that they're also in partnership with OVO. They're doing a line of jackets that release tomorrow, I believe, in partnership with OVO. So are they Switzerland? Are they neutral in the beef?
On a personal note, I would like the record to show that you're partnering with the NFL and I haven't got my fucking jacket.
Oh, are you still asking for the butter soft leather?
White leather. Speaking of Rick James cocaine leather. Up here partnering with the NFL. They look here. What you're not about to do is let this fool ride on me on the Super Bowl stage and then me pumping my jackets out at the same time.
They get money from both sides.
The NFL knows it has the power. They are the Corleone family right now. They're pretty much saying, look here, we can shoot you in the eye while you're at the barbershop, while we're at the christening. You can get with this program. Kendrick, you're going to perform. Drake, we're selling your jacket. Everybody wins. But I would say no if I was both of them. I'd make them choose.
But you want to know what would be the ultimate petty move and would be fire at the same time? Is if Kendrick performed in one of those jackets. That would be insane.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
You're welcome to use that idea, Kendrick. But I'm just saying.
Please don't. Definitely need to edit that out. Andrew, take that part of the show out expeditiously. Don't want to give this nigga any ideas.
I got a devious mind. Shawn been telling y'all right this whole time.
I've been petty for this long, I don't see any reason to stop now. I've been petty for this long. I might as well keep this train rolling.
You gotta play it all out.
We're going to keep this train rolling, and we are going to keep this train rolling with our last segment, official segment, but not really a fun segment, and that is some of the allegations that we knew were going to be wavered down against the man that bears your likeness, Shawn, and that is one Shawn Carter, Jay-Z.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. No. Just a little friendly reminder for him. It's your namesake.
That is crazy.
So
that is nasty.
I mean, Shawn, you share the same name and petty nature, so why don't you explain to me some of what you think is going on?
It's nasty. I don't have a lot of opinion on it. You know, we got to see what happens. We got to see how this thing play out. Anytime you see allegations like this, they are serious. I don't lean into the side where people are hoping that these allegations are true, because I don't wish that on anybody. I pray that they're not true. If they are, then I hope justice finds him. But at the same time, I'm not a judge, I'm not a jury that execute, I'm not a lawyer, attorney, any of that. It's unfortunate that this happened. We've heard stories in the past, we've heard mumblings in the past. Unfortunate situations like this, when they start getting legs, they start getting legs real quick, because then you start having other stuff come out of that. You have people talking, you have people creating more allegations, you have other things started coming out. And we just, look, guys, we can say what we want to say about Puffy, but the bad boy era was very important to hip hop, and he was at the front of that. And now he's where he's at, right? We've lost too many of our heroes, if you will, in situations like this, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, or whatever the case may be. And there's nothing to take nothing to take lightly, and there's nothing to be even jumping up in joy for, because it dings our culture of hip hop. And we all here, people in the chat, we're all part of the culture of hip hop, whether we're on the sidelines or we're in the game. We're still part of hip hop. And anything like this, it hurts us as a hip hop community. It hurts us as a culture, because other things has happened to others, but less of you, and they're still running free. Some of them are even still making money and still doing things that they've been doing before. And no one goes after them. Anytime one of our names are put into the news, it gets overstated, it gets bloviated, and then the shade room start going crazy and everything started happening. And Jay is no different from that. Jay is no different from that. So I pray that these allegations aren't true. I pray that that things work out the way it's supposed to work out, and justice will prevail. So that's all I really have on it.
AG, what you got to say about the matter?
I couldn't have said it better than what Shawn did. Shawn, that was said, damn near flawlessly. I'm gonna tread lightly, like you said, like Shawn said, we don't know. We have to see how this all plays out. But and Twitter and all that stuff is gonna have the jokes. But one thing I don't like to see, and Shawn alluded to this, is if you don't like Jay-Z as a rapper, as a person, or what have you, to prey on his downfall, that the allegations are true, I think is nasty work. Like Shawn said, if the allegations are true, then justice needs to be handled. But if you're just don't like his music, or your favorite rapper is had a problem with Jay or whatever, to hope that this is true is meaning that you hope that somebody was victimized. And I just think that's nasty work. That's very tone deaf. And the alleged victim in question is at the time was supposedly a 13-year-old girl, and I have a 13-year-old daughter, and just to hope that something like that would be true, so you could say, oh, I told you about that guy, he's what I'm saying, is crazy, because I don't even like to imagine stuff like that when it comes to what could happen to my seed, because I ain't even gonna say on camera what I would do. Let's just put it like that. But I just think it's real nasty. And Shawn alluded to the fact also that as a culture, we lose, and I don't want to necessarily call them heroes because, you know, sometimes we put people on too high a pedestal, right? And then, you know, just to see them fall down, you know, on their own sword or be knocked off. But I think that, you know, we keep knocking pieces off the board for our culture. So if you're hoping that something like that is true, just to say, well, I don't like that person, the footprint that that person had in the culture was a major footprint. And we're losing more of those by the day. So that's not something I hope for. You know what I mean? Because we can't hold our culture up high and look to it and says, yo, this is somebody who really made an impact and was strong in our culture if it has that negative stain on that. So for the people out there that's hoping this is true on the merit that, yo, I just don't like his raps or I don't like whatever, I don't think that's the right way to go about it. But if it is, you know what I'm saying, may justice be served and, you know, things handled accordingly. But, you know, just be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you are blindly defending as well. You know, those people out there who don't know Jay or know the victim or anything and kind of blindly defend one side because they have their allegiances. I just caution you against that because it might be a bad look because whichever the side of the fence this lands on, you know, everything's, you know, on social media, you can't get rid of it and on tape and people can bring it back and throw it in your face. And then if it was proved that that person did some nasty stuff, then you was left defending them. So, you know, just be careful out there, yo. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
I will say this, and I'm not joking when I say this. I do feel like the biggest advantage that has been handed to him in this situation is the fact that they did it to Puff first. So I feel like Jay is a very astute and keen man and always has been, a very observant man and always has been. And I feel like as soon as all this stuff started happening to Puff, he went and lawyered all the way up and discussed all the possible play out scenarios. He is probably being interrogated by a professional lawyer team, the likes that you guys like you and I will never see, already to prepare him for this. These types of allegations are the type of allegations that trouble me about black culture because, you know, quite frankly, the way oppression works is that what's been inflicted upon us is often what we perpetrate onto others, and our oppressors are aware of that. And so the raping of a 13-year-old girl, you know, has a lot of undertones to me that are racially driven to drive a point home when a man is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Like, they're not just making it seem like a crime. It becomes offensive and obscene and malicious and awful and degrading when it becomes a 13-year-old. You get what I'm saying? A 13-year-old and a 17-year-old is different in the psyche of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is something about this that makes me uncomfortable in terms of how quickly these allegations are being levied, the fact that a 13-year-old girl is being attached to it. Now, when Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis want to fucking fuck the shit out of and marry a 13-year-old girl, it is not a problem for these white people. But that is another conversation for another day. We can stick to the allegations at hand. I just think that it's going to be very, very hard to prove these charges. Jay is, and listen to what I'm about to say. For me, this isn't even about innocent or guilty. You have people that are definitely trying to make him look guilty, whether he is innocent or not. This is about how smart Jay has always been. And I don't think Jay has ever been the type of the guy, because of the life that he lived before he did legally rap, where you're really just going to have any smoking gun or any really evidence to prove this stuff. He doesn't strike me as that guy. Like, he doesn't strike me as loose like Puff does, quite frankly. And I don't mean that like in a promiscuous way.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean that in the hustler's way. Like, Jay strikes me as a hustler, where Jay won't smoke weed about the paranoia about the shit that he's done in the streets. You think they got some footage or some sort of recording or something? No, it just like that. That doesn't fit with the whole archetype and the motif that got him here anyway. He already had to avoid a lot of this stuff on a lower level to get here. And so I just don't think that for these allegations, I don't think that there's going to be enough proof to prove anything because of who Jay is. So let's say even if he did do this, I don't think the proof would be anywhere about the hustler that he is, about the life that he really led, and the way that he lived and how he thought before all of this happened anyway. Because when you try to take everybody, and everything from somebody, well, they're going to revert back to who they originally were. And who they originally were, type of motherfucker who never talk to you, tell you shit, do shit. You get what I'm saying? Where the footage at? Where the eyewitness at? And the lawyers? Oh, the lawyers potentially can have a field day with this unless they can provide some corroborative evidence that is substantial. As in, do you have him in the same place, in the same space? And by same place and space, do you have him in the same domicile of this woman?
Yeah.
How long? There is a such thing in a case as a reasonable time continuum. Do you have him in the same room? For what length of time? Well, who was there? Who were the eyewitnesses? Why is it taking 2 decades for somebody to come and test it? You get what I'm saying? So all these things, a highly aggressive, and by aggressive I mean very well paid legal team. Oh no, they'll rip that shit up. And so I expect a lot of this shit to get ripped up just based on the premise of what I know about how it got brought to the table and who Jay is and the fact that he's had time to prepare.
Well, even with that said, Coop, which you make good points, but like for me, it ain't about if it can be proven or not. I just pray that for both parties' sake that it didn't happen.
Right.
You know, that's what, you know, I want to stand on.
Yeah, because we don't need any blows like that, man. Pause. I mean, you know, again, you had Bill, Puffy, everything.
R. Kelly,
Kells, all of those. Now he had to go. Right?
Yeah,
but again,
it's
necessary. And as you said, AG, you know, I got a 13-year-old now. She just turned 13 yesterday, and
happy birthday to her.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
I'm still emotional because I got a teenager, and I'm like, yo,
crazy.
This is crazy. This is crazy. I got a teenager. This is crazy. And like you both said, you know, in Coop, yours got a car now, so you got a teenager, right? So
and she just walked in the door.
Yeah,
she just walked in the door, like from the car, and I'm just thinking to myself, it's like, damn, I've been terrified this whole time you've been gone. All right,
and it gets you here. It gets you here. So again, you know, I just pray that this is not true. If it is, I hope justice finds him, and I hope justice can be revealed, you know, the right way, and not the goofy way, of course. So it's a lot. It's heavy. It's a heavy thing. It's a heavy thing. You know, jokes are jokes, but to rejoice over something like this is crazy, because you got to know what you're rejoicing over. When one of us take a hit, we all take a hit. It really hurts in different spaces. Believe it or not.
Say that again. Hold on. Say that again, Shawn. Hold on. Say that again. I think we need to hear that again.
Yeah, when one takes a hit, we all take a hit.
And so people need to understand that this is a hit being put out to take us down.
Yeah, it does.
Because here's the reality of the matter. If this happened, they would have got to him already.
Exactly.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
They're building that thing up. They want it to stick.
Building. That's what I'm saying. Like,
they want it to stick, and they want everything around it. We've seen it too many times. We've seen, and like you said, Cool. You know, you got others who've done things that were egregious, and it was on Front Street. It was right there in front of our faces, and nothing was said. And we're about to go into 2025. And guess who got selected to be Man of the Year? Says a lot. I'm gonna leave it at that. So take for what it's worth.
Well, on that note, guys.
Mad Max, man. Yo, Mad Max gotta be from Astoria, Southside Jamaica.
Astoria. From the bridge to Astoria. Yo, real quick before we go to the next joint, Roger Goodell did release a statement saying that the NFL, still was going to back Jay and their relationship was going to remain the same, even though the allegations are out there. So we had the NFL talk earlier, being politically Switzerland between Drake and Kendrick, but they're keeping their stance on they're backing Jay in this matter versus moving on from him. because of the allegations. We've seen it happen before. You look at how Disney did Johnny Depp before, you know, anything was proved just because of allegations, and then he ended up winning, but Disney cut him off and stuff. And then, you know, it's different situations where a lot of companies jumped the gun and then somebody wasn't guilty. So the NFL with their partnership is, you know, saying that, hey, you know, these are just allegations for now. We're going to keep our partnership what it is. So,
well, first of all, they're in bed too deep with him to do anything else. And
that's a fact.
Yeah, they're in too deep to pull out. Pause.
Whoa.
Whoa. They're in too deep. Just big pause.
Missionary album at midnight, yo.
Yeah, Missionary at midnight. Tap in. Pause.
Whoa. You're just gonna continue? Just gonna have on this thing.
That was crazy.
Yo, have y'all seen that vinyl though?
Yeah, that was nasty.
Literally? Is it literally nasty?
It's nasty, Coop. They even got a whole post in a condom.
Yeah, the vinyl.
That's nasty work. We don't play those games.
Yeah, the vinyls a condom, dog. Like on the whole record.
I'd like to thank condoms. That's why I have one and not like 7. Like,
yo. Look at AG, man. The things that go to AG head right now that he's not articulating right now.
Don't even worry about all that, AG. Don't even worry about all that. That's ATL.
We always do this, man. It's crazy.
Great time now. You literally will have a ball down here. Okay.
Okay, so Discord dialogues.
This week's Discord dialogues. We are covering the legendary Queensbridge MC Cormega AG. Take it away, my guy.
Yo, shout out to Shawn. Queens get the money, but
no. Shout out Shawn. Shout out Cormega, please.
Yeah, shout out to Cormega. Yo, Cormega, man. I don't know if other than Tony Yayo, I don't know if anybody really came into the game where everybody knew who they was before they even dropped anything. You know what I mean? When Nas shouted Mega out on One Love, you know, when he got out of jail and, you know, started putting out stuff in the mixtape circuit and joined the firm and all that, I mean, he was already a household name just off the strength of one shout out. The only other person I can think of like that is Yayo. But Mega, you know, he showed and proved he was a integral member of the early firm unit, the OG firm. I really wish we could have gotten a version of the firm, you know, with Cormega. No disrespect to Nature, but Mega was a better fit, although Nature was a better lyricist. I wish we could have got an album version of that. But even with that said, Cormega on his own, you know, dope artist, got some dope projects, The Testament, The Realness, and more recently, The Realness Part 2, which came out a few years ago, was, you know, a return to form. And I'm glad, you know, him and, you know, Queensbridge brethren and Nas reconciled. And you know, Mega's just one of them ones, man. Like, and he won our Discord dialogues and we wanted to represent for him this day. And I hope he has more to come, you know, as far as like, you know, putting out new music. There's been some words that he was working on a project solely produced by Havoc. I hope that still comes out because we heard that Havoc was doing a joint with Method Man. But
we've been hearing that for about a year now, though, so I'm not sure how that is coming to fruition.
Yeah, I hope it does though, man, because I'll check for it, man, because Mega's dope. You know, Mega has a dope rap voice. You know, affirmative action. I go back and forth, like, you know, Mega's verse, you know, some days I feel like he had the best verse for as far as the energy he brought to the track. You know, not lyrically on the strength of the other ones, but what he brought to the track was needed. You know what I'm saying? It was just, that's why I still feel like we got cheated. We used La Familia for today's Discord dialogues. Just that version of the firm that had Mega in tow was great. You know what I'm saying? Affirmative Action remix and all them other joints, man. I just really, really wish we would have got that.
I feel like the Cormega firm joints had a feel to them and a consistency to them that gave us an expectation for what the album was supposed to sound like. La Familia, Affirmative Action. What's the other one? The mixtape joint that they
So
did.
was he on Sosa versus State?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the mixtape joint.
So when you're hearing those records, and then even when you hear Firm Fiasco, the way the Firm album starts off, well, it kind of fits in, and then it's like the album goes somewhere else after Phone Time. You're like, where the fuck is Cormega?
It goes left, yeah.
And I feel like if Cormega would have been there, he would have been the dude that's like, no, we got to keep this locked in to like on some firm. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he would have been that guy. He would have been a Ray guy. He would have been a glue guy. And
Bingo,
that's what I
glue
think
guy, Coop, because people discount that you can remove a role player from a situation and it still changes the makeup of the team.
Look here, what's his name? Trevor Ariza, when he played with the Lakers.
Yep.
Oh no, he a game changer with them.
And he was major for the Rockets.
And the Rockets. That's what I'm saying. Like he's like no, Mega's one of those guys. He's an Ariza. It's like, oh no, he's not your star player. He's like your third best player. But if you want to win a championship, yeah, you need a guy like that. You need you a Shane Battier. You need you a Trevor Ariza. That's who Cormega was. A Mike Miller. Like, yeah, like these guys. Remember, what's his name? Posey, James Posey. You need you that guy, a glue guy, a hitter, a rider, a dude from the neighborhood that made it out, but still like got that neighborhood mentality. That's why it's like when they all in their early 20s and they out in LA kicking it and being all disconnected, having the time of their life. Mega the nigga that's been sitting in prison has been like, no niggas, we need to lock in. I just did a bid. Like we gotta stop. Like you niggas gotta stop kicking it in LA. Stop smoking this chronic cap. Nigga, I just came home. I didn't come home for this shit. And that could have been some of the riff is that he might have been saying that stuff. Yeah, that could have been part of the riff. Like people make the riff about a lot of things, but
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Riffs usually happen more about egos and a tipping point thing. He could have just said something the wrong way on the wrong day, and that created that tipping point that created that riff. But it could have been something super like, oh, y'all niggas is getting like a little bit too. Because you got to think in mind when Cormega is coming home. Think about this. Foxy Nas and A all got gold, platinum plaques hanging around.
Yeah. Well, out of Mega's mouth himself, when he was on Drink Champs, what he said the vibe was with Steve, you know, we don't want to go too deep down this rabbit hole, was basically you're just here because you're Nas's man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really think you belong here or fit here, but you know what I'm saying?
I do not think Trackmasters and Dr. Dre's team is a good fit production-wise. So if he's talking from that perspective, yes. But Nas is the headliner, and so, you know, when you're David Ruffin, these are the temptations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, people forget that Nature, you know, Steve managed the Trackmasters, and that's why they were heavy on the album instead of just Dre, and Trackmasters signed Nature. So it was more of a business transactional deal, Nature replacing Mega, because Mega wouldn't sign, a contract.
Those were all mistakes, and Nas had something to do with that too. Mad Max with the 999.
That's why beef happened.
Right. The start of the Blueprint 2 disc is whole response. Jay-Z this, Jay-Z that. Jay-Z this, Jay-Z this. It's Jay-Z news. Get off Jay-Z. Okay, Mad Max.
That's the truth.
Mad Max, you wild. You are a wild boy. This is for somebody who used to be a wild boy for a long time. You are a wild boy, Mad Max. Andrew Williams, how y'all feel about Remy? How y'all feel about Remy and Pap? I feel like
I hate it. I hate it, man.
How'd that Chris Brown song go? These hoes ain't loyal. All right, next.
we was trying to avoid this one, man. I hate stuff like this.
Since somebody asked in the super chat, I'll answer for us. These hoes ain't loyal.
Yo,
I ain't loyal.
Hate it, man.
When I broke, nigga, won't you? All right, I'm done. It's all in fun till it's not. All right, fellas.
Wait, hold on, quick. Yo, Shawn didn't get the wax poetic about Cormega.
No, that was intentional. We don't want to hear this long Queens entendre about Cormega. Like, oh my God, we'll be here all night.
Get the money, man. It's Queens get the money. I've always felt that Mega was the necessary piece to the firm, and that's why I think that's a bigger reason why the firm flopped. in of course, the way people felt, because that energy wasn't there. Like you guys mentioned, the songs that we heard with Mega on, it just felt like it was full circle. No pun intended. All the songs that he was on, he brought that extra oomph, because you have Nas, who is a lyrical giant. You have AZ, who is a lyrical giant. You have Fox, who had the voice, who had the delivery, the cadence. You had three very strong. You had some heavy hitters. Nature was a lyricist. Don't get it twisted. Nature was a pure lyricist. You didn't need that from Nature, though, because he wasn't as established as those other, as the big three, if you will. What I mean? That's Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman right there, right? That's the DC trilogy, if you will. Yeah. You needed someone like Mega just to bring it down some, right? Because you're talking about an override of personality, an override of lyrical dexterity, and an override of just lyrical density. You needed someone like Mega just to punch you in the face. Because he's not going to give you, he's very unorthodox. Mega has always been unorthodox. He's not going to wow you with the double entendres, wow you with the story or the wordplay. He's going to just give you real talk. He's just going to say, we had the chicken, when you say, I'm at the bus stop eating chicken wings and French fries. And he's just saying like just regular street stuff.
Keeps it grounded.
He's the ground piece that they needed the connective tissue to the streets. He was a connective tissue because AZ doesn't talk a lot of street talk. He talked luxurious rap. He talked that luxury rap. Nas at that time was on a whole different planet. Nas was
balling. Nas was balling, man.
He was balling then. And people didn't like that. Some of the purists, if you want to call them that, didn't like that. They was mad because he made the line, I'll be flooded in ice or hellfire, you can't scorch me. They didn't like that. They didn't like that version of Nas because they wanted that same guy to still talk about the pissy elevators and stuff. They didn't want that, right? You feel like he was over talking us at this point because now you're talking about ice, you're talking about living the life, you got money now. Mega wasn't that guy. Mega was like, I got my Timbs on, I'm grimy, you know what I mean? It's dark outside. He was that guy.
Every mob family needs a hitman.
Need a hitman. Yeah. He was the blunt force.
You need a Luca Brasi. You can't be Vito. Everybody can't be Vito.
Right. That explains it. Like people ask on the Dream Team, like, why is Drew Holiday on there? You need a Drew Holiday. Everybody can't be like Kevin Durant.
I need somebody who doesn't need the ball. Who's gonna play some defense.
Pat Bell.
Get some rebounds, some assists.
Pat Beverly, man.
Pat Beverly's wild.
I'm gonna take somebody out the game.
For real, it's like, no, you got Durant and Steph and LeBron on a team. It's like, nigga, that's 40 shots.
Right. That's a great point.
You're paying 10-minute quarters. It's like, well, you only got another 40 shots to go around between the other 9 people.
There's no more shot selections at all.
You got 40 shots for the other 9 people. Work this shit out.
Yeah, Cormega was vital, man.
Yeah.
Vital. Shout out to
sometimes, Mega, like it be those guys that get you 15 points and 7 rebounds to get you the ring sometimes, man.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
But shout out to Mega, man.
Shout out to Mega.
So I know you had a little off-topic thing that you wanted to do. I don't know if we're gonna have time today, G, because we are running over. You wanna?
Yeah, we running way over right now. We're running hot.
Oh yeah, this is just real quick to go into our press play because it tease off that. But real quick, Joe Budden did a little segment on his podcast about what was the better duo. Unofficial duo, I guess you could say, AZ and Nas, or we was just talking about the firm, or Jadakiss and Styles, and they had some weird rules when it came along to it. When they was going through the song catalog, they said, you can't use lock stuff, but you can use like Banned from TV because they're doing that back and forth on there. But that's not even a Locks record. That's got like 5 people on there, and then they put the stipulation on there where you can't use any firm records for Nas and AZ, just the songs that they have together. So I just found out I just figured that was an interesting little exercise in comparison. So me and Shawn, for our press play segment, we did like a little mock versus with the two duos, trying to, for the most part, heed to the rules that they put in place when they was talking about it on their podcast. So
Okay, so these rules suck. Go ahead, keep going.
yeah, they kind of do. But you know, it was challenging to stay within bounds. But you know, we did that. For the record, I didn't pick Band for TV because that's just not fair. You know, so.
Yeah. And we'll just go through it real quick for the sake of time. We'll just show it out, Coop, and you tell us what you think.
No. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, y'all can vote in the chat, and we can put it on social too. Y'all can vote which songs you got.
Yeah. So cool. We're going to make it versus Life's a Bitch.
Life's a Bitch.
One more. Both all-time great songs, though.
All-time great songs. One more step versus How You Living.
It's How You Living.
Yep.
Yeah. Synergy versus The Essence.
It's The Essence. I kind of figured this was going to happen, though, so I have some commentary that I want to make when this is done, but I kind of figured this
You can't tell Joe and his crew that. In and Out versus The Flyers.
The Flyers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dope Money versus More Money, More Murder.
This is the closest round to me, though.
It's the closest one, but it's still More Money, More Murder. In a mahogany.
Yeah, like scenery.
That was lightning and raindrops. I'm tied up in the basement
cocaine spotlight. Bangkok.
Sounds different.
Dope Money is my favorite. My favorite joint where Styles and Kiss do that though. You know, off the Rough Riders compilation. That is my favorite joint.
See, me,
where they do the back and forth.
You ain't got no style in you. I'm into better G's, Armorettas, butter leathers, Armani sweaters, plus these crabs. Yeah.
Shootouts versus Phone Tap.
Oh, I love shootouts.
The beat's hard, but it's not Phone Tap.
Phone Tap.
Not Phone Tap.
It's not
Phone Tap to me is their best performance next to Life's a Bitch. So.
And just a quick note, they said no firm records, but we needed the amount of Nas and AZ records to add up. And then plus, Nature only has like 3-4 bars on that record, you know. So
ain't nobody stressing that. Phone Tap is a Nas AZ record. We all know that.
Right.
And the last one, Shots Fired, Serious.
The 50 disc.
Serious is serious.
Yeah.
Serious though.
But they went crazy on Shots Fired up against 50 though. But
so I'm about to say something that's about to piss New York off. The Jada and Styles combo was overrated about the song output, and you just saw why.
And that was all they did. They didn't do
it was damn near a clean sweep, wasn't it?
Lyrically, it was. Lyrically, people are talking about what they hear when they rap together, but the songs aren't like when Styles and Kiss get together. I don't be excited like everybody else. That's why I tell everybody it's like no Ray and Ghost, Meth and Red, Nas and AZ. Like all of those combos are better than Styles and Kiss to me because we don't have the records that reflect from just them two. Now there are a bunch of Locks records with Sheik on them that you could have thrown in the mix. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. But adhering to the rules. And to be fair, Joe did say himself, like, we talking songs, they not Nas and AZ, but everybody else jumped out the window quick. You know, Ice-ish, even Parts was like, oh, it's Kiss and Styles. And they were like,
it's not Kiss and Styles, and it's actually not even conversational. That's what I'm saying, because first of all, people overrate a few things about the Styles and Kiss pairing. First of all, they overrate the songs outside of We Gon' Make It. And then they overrate the volume of songs because it's not a lot of songs with Styles and Kiss doing that back and forth that they're so famously known for. Oh no, Sheik's on a whole lot of those records. Sheik's on most of those records. Most of those records are Locks records. Those aren't Styles and Kiss records.
Right.
Simple niggas. Them is Locks records.
Right. And we proved that because that's how many songs they actually have. They actually have like 7
together with them. That's what I mean. Nas and AZ actually have more work than Styles and Kiss, and Nas and AZ don't have a lot of work, and they have the better songs.
But and I like that point, Coop, because people get lost on, no pun with the song, lost on the synergy of Kiss and Styles. It's like having an album that's really cohesive. That's, you know, pretty much a 5 mic album, but it's really cohesive. But then you got another album that's like 5 mics, but got banger after banger after banger. You know what I'm saying? It's got higher highs. So it's like, you know, the songs are better.
Think about this. With Jadakiss and DMX is better than all of these records except for 2 to me.
I don't know. I like Dope Money better.
I said except for 2, Dope Money and We Gon' Make It.
We Gon' Make It. Yeah. Yeah.
We gonna make it in dope
Ooh,
money.
shootouts though. Shootouts. I might put shootouts over it.
I give that a tie with I give it a tie.
Goes hard though.
That's what I'm saying though.
Yo, Lo, if you watch it, probably smoke what Jeezy collab. Never mind.
Don't do that. How about this? Black Illuminati with Gibbs and Kiss is better than a lot of these records. It's like you gotta.
I can't go that far. I
love Black Illuminati.
It's dope, but I can't do that.
But
you made your point, Coop. We ain't got to get crazy with it. But
okay. I'm gonna leave it alone.
To both you guys' point, I just don't like the fact that Joe and those guys they do this often. They were trying to reduce Nas in some category by pairing him up with something like that. I would have been more comfortable with them saying Jay and Beans versus Nas and AZ. That's a better conversation personally for me, because now you're talking about Jay and Beans. When they got together, it was special.
I see what you're doing, Shawn, and I like it. But for me, and I love Beans, but I think Jay and Sauce is a better conversation.
Jay and Sauce gonna win. They just don't have enough.
Jay and Beans are going to win more than Kiss and Styles, but they're still going to lose.
They're still going to lose, but that's a better pair. That's a better comparison. That's a weight class.
It's a 1-to-1 comparison. Yeah.
So Shawn, when you talk about how they try to downgrade Nas, I actually like when they do that, because that gives you the opportunity to play the music, which is usually when they have to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I actually like when they do that. It's like, oh, you feel that way? Go put the records on. Let's see how it sounds live.
Right.
Like
because they were trying to say outside of Lights of Bitch is really not a competition. And then Joe started naming off the Flyers, How You Live.
But just like when they was talking that shit when Magic came out, it's like, oh, it ain't all that. And then they started playing it live, and they was like, oh, well, damn. It's like, well, hold on. It's like, yeah, did you even listen to this album, dude? It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I like when they do stuff like this, because it's like, oh no, break the records out. Let's see. Like, y'all think Kiss and Style got more classic records than Nas and AZ? You're fucking tripping.
You know what's crazy though? Like with Nas and AZ, and then we can move on. Sirius is such a dope joint. And we all had that moment a couple shows ago where we was going off talking about Sirius. But like present day as it stands, my favorite AZ and Nas collab might be How You Living. I love that record.
I mean, everybody knows how I feel about Phone Tap. So Phone Tap is still like, that's my yo, this Esco, who this? Ever since I heard that beat drop, that's been my shit. So I'm with you. And think about this. You're talking about How You Living. I'm talking about Phone Tap. And none of us bringing up Life's a Bitch. That's what I mean. It's like, no. Let's play the records. Play the records.
Even The Essence was nominated for a Grammy.
I think The Essence is better than How You Living. I love The Essence. The
Essence is great.
I like The Essence more than How You Living and The Flyers.
Yo, the talk at the beginning of The Essence is classic.
It is.
Yeah.
But yo, Stacey Lattisaw, Tina Marie, like that whole shit. That shit classic.
Before the first verse come out, that wins the battle.
Right.
Your shit's is hot. Your shit's is baby blue. They powder blue. Your shit's hotter. You hotter with
the flames on.
You
James Bond. Yeah,
nigga, stop that. Like, stop that.
When we pulled up to North Carolina, that's how Shawn was admiring my shoes and my fit. He was like, yo, you flyers, AJ.
Okay, can't take these Negroes anywhere. I would like to thank you all for subscribing and liking our channel this year. We're growing. We appreciate all the love and support. Click like, subscribe, share. Shawn, take us home without getting us banned or losing any money from YouTube, please.
No doubt. Make sure you guys please follow, like, subscribe on YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Over the past several weeks, actually a couple of months now, we have been outpacing our subscriptions with views, and we appreciate and love y'all for that. We've been averaging 2.5 to 3,000 views per episode with only 1,800 subscribers. That means we have a 1-to-1 ratio, even more than that. So we just need for all of you who's checking in, who's showing love to us, to please make sure you subscribe as well. That helps us, the brand, as more than anything else, because it allows us to start really tapping into the things that we haven't tapped into yet. We have an automatic clip that we want to let off, but we want to make sure we have enough, people in the audience to enjoy that, because we want to make it worth everyone's while. The one thing that we want to say, we do have a lot of things lined up, especially for 2025. But a part of that is to be, to make sure that the artists that we have coming on, they're coming to a decent audience, right? And part of that is subscription piece to it. And we would love if you guys can continue to share the love, continue to like, subscribe, put it on Twitter, follow us on the Discord, and continue to blast it. You know, tell people about what we got going on. Be like our street team out there to help us, you know, continue to build a platform so we can show out and show up for you all. We are working on some gifts for some of our, you know, our main supporters out there. One thing I do want to share, because I got it for the fellas too. But one thing I do want to share is now we got the Escobar cigars for all my cigar lovers out there. These are actually some good cigars, actually. And I just want to show this case because
hold on. You have some Escobar cigars?
Yeah, I got like a whole 5 cases over here.
Okay. You don't smoke cigars, nigga.
I do smoke cigars.
You have Escobar cigars. I smoke cigars on this show. Human resources. Oh my God.
Well, I got you. I got you. Don't
send them. Coop is opening an eBay auction right now. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, and the team will get
you
this.
You got an Escobar.
For our cigars, this is a humidor where it actually comes with everything you need for a humidor for those of you who smoke. So it actually comes again subscribed as well. And we got
I got all types of humidors around here. Just send the cigar. Send the cigar.
And we got that. We got all of these. We got in Coop, AG. You guys, AG,
you got all of those right now.
No, I don't smoke cigars.
What I got, you guys got. What I got, you guys got.
Yeah.
I just got to get over to.
Sounds like
he'll send you a personal autograph note.
That sounds like some shit a pimp tells his hoes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What's the opening bid start at, Coop, when you get your cigars?
Definitely $500.
You guys
$500 for the box.
It has the black subscription there as well. The black subscription there as well. So
definitely,
if you guys are not reading between the lines, yeah, we got the raw cut over here, and everything I'm showing you is Nas centric, and it's for a reason. So again, AG Coop, you guys are gonna get yours for Christmas. I hope I can get this out in the mail. It's hard to ship cigars and alcohol via mail. Yeah, AG, thanks for about to get me in trouble, but you guys.
My bad.
Yeah, got to get me locked up for trying to ship alcohol. But yeah,
amongst other things.
Definitely time to go.
Appreciate y'all. Continue to tap in. Join the Discord, and we got y'all.
We got 2 super chats. Andrew Williams, $1.99. The Joe Budden podcast are Nas haters. We are aware, even though we support them overall for being groundbreaking, or Joe being groundbreaking. Brandon Rogers, $5. Tomorrow is the Godson's anniversary.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
We know.
We'll be talking about it on the next show.
Oh, yeah.
We will. We have to cover things within the time frame in which they happen. Tomorrow falls under next week, you know. Yeah. I might shoot a Lucy video out talking about Made You Look or something. You know,
we in the future with it sometimes too, but yeah, we'll get there.
We definitely. The Discord might be doing a listening session tonight for the Missionary album, so join our Discord. Those guys be doing listening sessions.
According from the reviews that I've been hearing, there's no need for y'all to do all that. Go ahead and go to bed, get you some sleep. Go ahead and get you some sleep.
Absolutely. I need to. Still jet lagging.
You want to know what from what I've been reading from the reviews, you know what I actually thought about? I've been thinking, where the hell is the glove in all this? Should have called the glove.
That's again.
Gotta call some of the homies.
You leave out key pieces of the recipe.
One of the strongest thing Glove told me, he's like, if we made a banging record, he's like, no, he's like, I'm trying to call the same weed man, trying to call the same girls, trying to call, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same action. So it's like if you're doing Missionary, which is to follow up the Doggy Style and like the Chronic and Chronic 2, like
right.
You know, some Mailman, some Chris the Glove, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I had the same thought, but a little bit different, Coop. It wasn't a production aspect of it, and we'll review it next week. But I'm already anticipating the biggest glaring missing piece will be Nate Dogg. I'm already thinking that without even hearing it. I think that's going to be the glaring missing piece from all this.
I mean, it's just last time they made an album together, there were songs like "Murder Was the Case" and "What's My Name" and "Gin and Juice." It's just that's why I didn't want them to do it. It's not realistic. It's not realistic.
It's not.
Look. My shirt is named after the Wax Sophomore album.
Yeah. That immobilarity and the the Prince of Darkness, the worst off, the worst follow-up album trilogy.
Look. That's the unholy trinity
That's right.
of sophomore rap albums. We'll see what the Missionary sound like though.
But we are the dope pod trinity. So on that note, we bid you adieu.
Ain't none of y'all better. Word to LOX.
None of y'all better.
Peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all.